What's going on? What's going on, film fam? Welcome to another episode of Chopping Willie in the morning. I am. Oh, and this brought to you by Let the Film Speak. What the boy tripping off of? I am one of your hosts, Chop. Here with my main man, Willie Jack. Willie Jack, how you feeling this morning, bro?
Hey, feeling good, feeling great, man. Sunday morning, I got another football to watch. My playoff hopes are still alive. You know what I mean? So, hey, I'm ready to get it going.
Yeah, man. And speaking of playoffs, man, there's still two spots available, man. One was clinched yesterday, last night, in a football game, which we will go through for you. But there's still two left, man. One in each conference, one in the AFC and one in the NFC. And of course, me and Willie Jack, we're gonna get into that for you today. But before we do that, we got to go through some house rules. And of course, it's just that simple, man. Like, share, and subscribe. Become the newest member of the Film Fam. We got plenty of room in the lab, plenty of food, plenty of drinks, plenty of whatever you need, man. Become a member of the Film Fam, and be a part of the family. And then also hit that notification bell. You hit that notification bell because how else you gonna know what Chop and Willie got cooking up? What's on the recipe for the day? What's going on. You do that, and I promise, me and Willie Jack gonna take care of you, man, and you won't be left out. All right, Willie Jack. Of course, you know what Chopping Willie in the morning is about. We go through all the games, that we played today. Of course, we usually do a Thursday night recap, but of course, we didn't have a Thursday night game, so we will do a Saturday recap instead. We have two games, and other than that, before we go into that, we got a little bit of news, man. A little bit of news, some things I wanted to kind of separate from the show today for us to talk about, some things that happened. First and foremost, I want to touch on Damar Hamlin, man. Damar Hamlin is continuing to show great signs of improvement. Of course, he's breathing on his own, and he actually it reports out that he had ended up FaceTiming his team, so the team got a chance to see him. So things are on the up and up with him. He also issued a statement out to the public. And I wanted to read through that statement, just so everybody know exactly, where Damar Hamlin is, where his mind is and everything. I think he also asked if his team won the game, So the guy's in good spirits, but here's the statement that he put out, the public statement that he put out. And he says, the love has been overwhelming, but I'm thankful for every single person that prayed for me and reached out. We brought the world back together behind this. If you know me, this only is going to make me stronger. On a long road, keep praying for me. And so that's kind of where he is with this, man. So, nothing but good news coming from Damar Hamlin and his continuing improvement. Well, Jack, you got something on it?
Oh, yeah, no, I'm sorry, man. I actually just sent you a message as well. I don't know if you just seen it yet. My fault. My fault, man. But honestly, man, this goes without saying, man. Just like you said, continue pressing real wishes for sure. It's definitely very encouraging, man, to see that he is, on the track to recovery. You know what I'm saying? So whatever that recovery looks like, you know what I'm saying? So y'all already know where we at with that, man. So, but he is on the track to recovery. I'm sure, man. I can't imagine the film. I'm trying to think like if it's us, bro. Like I can't imagine being like in the team meeting room and then they put on the big screen Damar FaceTiming, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like I can't imagine how they felt, man. You know what I mean? I know they got turned, you know what I mean? I know everybody was in that. Man, I know they can't wait to smack New England today and put on for their dog, you know what I'm saying? So
it's gotta warm your heart. That's the type of thing that gotta warm your heart for sure.
Oh yeah.
Gotta warm your heart. And speaking of Damar Hamlin, and in which the game that he got injured, I wanted to talk about an update that came from that particular game. So, of course, well, I don't know if everybody's heard, but the game has officially been canceled. Okay, so the Buffalo and Cincinnati game, as far as the regular season game, will not happen. And because of that, of course, I know a lot of people were worrying about the playoff implications. I know we and Willie Jack talked about some different scenarios, what we felt like we wanted to happen, what would be good to see. But the NFL has something a little different in mind, which we could talk about and discuss how it works and how we feel about it. But basically, this is what the AFC, the league came up with. So there's a possibility that the AFC Championship game could be played at a neutral site. Okay. And it's for pretty much two different scenarios. Well, it's a few different scenarios, but basically, if Buffalo and Kansas City play each other or end up meeting each other, but Buffalo has to win. It has to win in this Week 18 game. So they have to win, and if they win this game in week 18, and they meet Kansas City in the AFC Championship game, then the game will be played at a neutral site. Okay, if Buffalo and Kansas City both lose, and then Cincinnati loses, and then Buffalo and Kansas City meet each other in the AFC Championship game, they play at a neutral site. If Buffalo and Kansas City both lose, but Cincinnati wins, and the AFC title game is either the Chiefs and the Bills or the Bengals and Chiefs, that game will be played at a neutral site. You know what I'm saying? So it's a few different things that would need to happen, in this last week, in order for the game to be played at a neutral site. But all of it includes either the Chiefs and the Chiefs winning and the Bills winning, or the Chiefs losing and the Bills losing, and both of them losing and the Bengals. It's a lot of different scenarios out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay? And the other thing on top of that one that has something to do with the with Cincinnati and Baltimore. So and we apologize, by the way, we actually gave y'all a preview of this game. But if Baltimore beats Cincinnati today and they end up playing each other in the wild card, then they flip a coin for who gets home field advantage in that particular game. So those are all of the scenarios right now, that could happen based off of the Cincinnati Buffalo game on Monday night that had been canceled. Willie Jack, what's your take on it, man? You got any take on this?
The only thing about this, man, I'm not upset at what they did, as far as, especially if it comes into play where one of the two teams, particularly, and I guess Cincinnati kind of the afterthought, but one of those two teams, like I said, they'll move in neutral. So I don't mind that as a workaround. The only thing about it, I guess, is Cincinnati did kind of get a bad rub in this whole ordeal. So somebody's got to take the L. You know what I'm saying? And this is kind of where my thoughts were on it a little bit last week when we were talking about it, or last show that we discussed it, is that I'm not mad at the decision to cancel the game, but if somebody does have to take the short end of the stick, then honestly, it should have been Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? And that's, nothing for nothing. I'm not at all talking about the one situation, but I'm saying if somebody is going to have to take a little L on this, then it should be Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? But instead, the way it worked out, man, it seems like it's Cincinnati that kind of has to, just has to just take it on the chin, because they don't even have the option of, there was no scenario in which they could have attained, I guess, the number one seeding or whatnot. But they still are in the mix as far as the neutral site game. If something, if X, Y, and the finger bone connects to the ankle bone or whatever, they still might be in that mix. But on the whole and in the grand scheme, I like what they did, because I didn't want to see the schedule, affected. For personal reasons, we'll get into that later. Me and my dog Chop, But hey, not that weekend locked in, man. I need everything to stay on schedule. So, but I am glad they found a workaround. I'm not mad at it either, like you said, so neutral site. I actually saw something that said Pittsburgh may be the site for the neutral AFC Championship game if it comes to that. I don't know if that's the only available venue, but I did see that Pittsburgh Stadium is at least mentioned as being one of those alternative sites. But like I said, on the whole, I think the NFL did a phenomenal job handling this, man, honestly. I mean, there's been a lot of ways that they've handled things in the past, man. Y'all know me and Chop, man. Y'all know we get down, man. Y'all definitely know, man. We don't like it. We let Chop know. I'm not mad about how they handle this one.
And to be fair, it was almost no 100% right answer for this scenario. Somebody was gonna feel slighted in the situation, but like we talked about on the Wednesday show, man, this is an example of why life isn't fair. Life isn't fair for a lot of people. Yeah. Life wasn't fair for Damar Hamlin. You know what I mean? So and that was, of course, as most people agree, the most important thing throughout this entire thing. But yeah, those are some of the things that just happened. So to pray for Damar Hamlin. We'll see how these playoffs play out, and who knows, man? It may not even work out in that way. It may be Kansas City and the Chargers, or maybe one of those teams don't make it. Maybe they're playing somebody else to where, all right, now it can be, the way that it's supposed to be. So we'll see how that works, as we kind of go into the playoffs. Now, Willie Jack, one other thing in the news, and it's crazy, after coming back off of Damar Hamlin and talking about him being in critical condition and so on and so forth. Former NFL running back Peyton Hillis, former NFL running back Peyton Hillis is also in critical condition after a swimming incident that happened Thursday in Pensacola, Florida, and he was reportedly hit a helicopter to a hospital and remains unconscious, in the intensive care unit. his uncle came out and reported that he is continuing to improve, but he still remains in the ICU. So, definitely sending prayers his way. Willie Jack, what you got any more on what happened in this particular story?
Yeah, no, man, and not much more than kind of what you said, man. But I did see the story. One of us that shot him out as well. But as I understand, I guess his children were in the ocean, like I said, in Pensacola, and there was some style of swimming accident. He saved both his kids from drowning in the ocean, and possibly, and we hope not. You know what I'm saying? But at great risk to his own life. You know what I'm saying? Now, my dog Chop's a father. I'm a very active uncle. I can tell you, man.
That's right.
Man, if I got to jump in there and save one of those kids, you know what I'm saying?
It is what it is.
It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
It is. Yeah.
So Peyton ain't worried about nothing, man. I'm sure, but I do hope I hope he bounces back for sure. And then shout out to him, man. He was one of those guys that comes around on the Madden stuff, like the one hit wonder guys, etc.
Yeah.
With the Cleveland Browns, he had a random 1,200-yard rusher season one year. Boys thought he was the next Mike Allstott. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that was the talk back then. Remember that?
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
He really was, right, man. You know what I'm saying? So he was out there getting busy, man, and got on the cover of Madden, got himself a nice little contract, and then, like I said, man, it's as soon as he, you know what I'm saying, as soon as he burned bright, man, he flamed right back out. I remember him mostly from Arkansas when they had like a three-headed monster. It was Darren McFadden, Felix Jones, and then Peyton Hillis boy in Arkansas. Man, that was crazy back then. But now, well wishes to him, man. Hope he pulled through. All right.
Got you.
Sure. Hey, and hold on, real quick, man. Couple shout outs to the members in the building, man. Mom's in the building as always. Hold it down. Appreciate you, mama. And then my dog, man. My dog Cashola in the building, man. He a Ravens fan. You know what I'm saying? He in there talking real spicy after coming off that L, but it's all good, bro. I feel you.
Hey, man, we wouldn't have it any other way, man. Wouldn't have it any other way. But first, Willie Jack, hey, man, we had a couple games on Saturday, and it's time to jump into it, man. The first game we had on the day, we had the Chiefs go to see the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Chiefs end up coming away with a W in this game, 31-13. Man, Willie Jack, what would you take on this one?
Man, just Kansas City's in high gear, man. You know what I'm saying? Kansas City's in high gear. I guess for the official purposes, like I said, secured the number one seeding for what that's worth, etc. Not at all a spectacular day by Patty. A spectacular day wasn't needed. 18 for 26, 200 yards passing on the nose, 1 touchdown, no interception. The running game, man, got it done by committee. Three different guys had rushing touchdowns. Isaiah Pacheco, Ronald Jones had a sighting. I don't feel like I've seen Ronald Jones get a touch in the last 2 months. He had 10 carries in this one and got in the end zone. And then Kadarius Toney getting in the end zone in this one as well. Last I want to shout out Jared McKinnon, man. We talked about it last week. Been a touchdown machine. He has another receiving touchdown in this one. And then I think I saw a stat during the game. He now has 9 touchdowns. I think are they all receiving? I think he has 9 receiving touchdowns.
I'm not sure if they are receiving, but
did you see that?
He been getting in the paint.
He getting in the paint, like for sure. Like, yeah. And I think and honestly, because he started the beginning of the season on IR, misses the time, I think. So I think he said 9 of these touchdowns, and it feels like the bulk of them came like within these last 4 or 5 weeks for sure.
Right.
I know he's had like a couple dual TD games, etc. And so, but like I said, man, Kansas City's in high gear, and like I said, they're gonna be hell to deal with, man. Come playoff time. Now that the real show's about to start. On the other side, man, just quick shout out to Devontae Adams. Modest day, 5 for 76, or you know what I'm saying, very solid day. But first year in Las Vegas, I almost said Oakland, set the single receiving record, man, with like just over 1,500 yards, 1,543, I think they said. So it was busy. As ugly as it was for the Raiders, man, as ugly as it fell out, man, and turned out for Derek Carr and Jared Stidham, excuse me. It was business as usual for Devontae Adams. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, and this is, I'll tell you what. This may be one of the most impressive seasons for me for Devontae because, you know what I'm saying, he's got that monkey off his back now. Or when the time comes and we start talking about Hall of Fame and legacy and where guys line up, you know what I mean? He no longer is going to be able to be a guy where you can say, well, he played with Aaron Rodgers this whole year. Because that's what we said about Marvin Harrison. You know what I'm saying? He played with Peyton his whole career. Well, okay, yeah, but he was still cold. You know what I'm saying? Like now, Devontae, he just shook that. I left. I played with a Derek Carr that got benched and lost his job before the year was over, and I set the record for whatever they had over there. You know what I'm saying? Randy played over here. Tim Brown played over here. You know what I'm saying? None of them boys got the record. The record said Devontae Adams. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
I'm that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
it sound like you said hashtag best in the business to me. That's what I heard you say. I mean, I ain't hear you say nothing else but best in the business.
No. He just a respectable OG. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Like he LeBron at age 40. He ain't the best in the league, but he's still cold though. You know what I'm saying? Like he's still getting buckets. He's still good for 27, 7, and 7. You know what I'm saying? But he just ain't.
Yeah. That sound like the best in the business to me, bro. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying.
Nah. He
and
ain't
the boy
you know
getting in
he
the
ain't
paint.
Luka. You know he ain't Giannis or Luka. It's a young man's game, man. Come on now.
The boy getting in the paint too. He 14 touchdowns. Man, stop playing with the boy, man.
Getting in that thing. So,
but no, man.
And he killed all that noise. Like I think I said something like $30 million a year. The boy ain't going nowhere, and he came out and killed that. Like, nah, I'm here in Las Vegas to stay. Like, I ain't tricking off my bag on Derek Carr friendship for 20 years ago, man. You're my dog, man. I'm gonna cheer for you wherever you go. I'm getting them 30 M's here though for sure.
I feel that. But you know what, Willie Jack, man, I feel kind of the same way you say. I ain't gonna take too much away from this game with Chiefs and Raiders. Chiefs came out and did what they're supposed to do. You know, they came out and beat a mediocre at best Raiders team. And it also showed that game last week, or the offense for the Raiders last week, it was just catching people off guard, man. They caught the 49ers off guard. 49ers came into the game like, oh, y'all finna start Jarrett Stidham. You know, we ain't got to worry about him. And then, boom, he light them up. The Chiefs come out. They prepared. They seen what Jarrett Stidham can do. If you go out and say and not worry about a guy, and they say, you know, we're gonna put a stop to this. We ain't doing this in this game. You know, and they take care of business. But also, I took this as the game where the Chiefs were I think they were just gearing up for the playoffs. You saw them coming out trying plays. Them boys, I don't even know what the huddle was called. Them boys did the ring around the Rosie.
Man, that's disrespectful, dog.
They came out, did the ring around the Rosie. That's what I'm gonna call it. I don't care what nobody else called it. Ring around the Rosie. Ring around the Rosie,
bro. On 3.
ring around the Rosie. Sweep, toss, throwback, left on 3. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
You know, so they was doing stuff like that, and then you can just tell in just the usage of what's my guy name, the guy they brought up in the middle of the season, the Kadarius Toney.
Okay,
You can just tell in the usage of him that they're still figuring out all the different ways and that they can actually use him, because we've said it time and time again. He can't stay healthy, but he's dangerous when he has the ball in his hand, and that's just point blank period. And it seems like the Chiefs, for all the people who talk about the lack of weapons that they had going into the season, besides Kelsey, what they do have is guys that can make plays. You know what I'm saying? When especially in open space. And so now with Kadarius Toney, now they have what's the guy, the running back you was talking about, Jerick McKinnon, you know, and all those type of guys. You get them in space, man. They just as dangerous as just about anybody with the ball in their hands. You know, so and then you got Patrick Mahomes pulling the trigger, throwing it to 10 guys every game. Yeah, they're gonna be hard to beat. You know, so I expect them to continue to do their thing and, you know, roll into the playoffs, you know, ready to go. And the good thing is they are the team. And that's another part I didn't talk about too. They are the team that's going to get their first round bye, you know. So I know they are happy about that, and you know, get a chance to go through that process. So, you know, that's kind of how that happened.
Gotcha. And then real quick, last thing I want to say, man, Kadarius Toney is he's the perfect example of like when you get into the playoffs or big games, you talk about like X factors. Like he's the type of guy that comes to mind, because like Justin Jefferson isn't an X factor. We know who he is. Like Michael Jordan's not an X factor when he shows up to the gym. It's Jordan. Devontae Adams isn't an X factor. You know what I'm saying? Like those guys are who they are. So an X factor, like this is Kadarius Toney, a guy who's like, you know, he's got all the potential in the world. He's electric. He can just jump. He can jump in the game and have 3 touches and 2 of them be touchdowns. Like, you know what I mean? So going into the playoffs, and then like I said, them still, and then you got the mad signings, Andy Reid, bro. These Chiefs finna make some real noise, bro. I ain't gonna lie. These the way things are shaking out, boy. These Chiefs finna be real business in here. And also, we'd be remiss, you know, you see, like my vocab, we'd be remiss if we didn't also congratulate Patty Cakes, man. Patty set the single season total yards record, broke the record previously held by Drew Brees. Man, my bad, Drew. But broke that record held by Drew Brees. 55-70, I think, is the mark he had. And I think he broke Drew Brees' record by like 6-7 yards. I think it was like 55-63 or something like that. And doing so in the first year post Tyreek Hill as well. You know what I'm saying? So spectacular year for him, man. Like I said, man, the show keep rolling. You know what I'm saying? When you got with that, man, hey, y'all keep learning, man. Like when you one of them ones, man, don't let that matter. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear it. When you one-on-ones, don't let the show will go on, man. And so shout out to him. And then shout out to Beast by the Stars, man. It's the boy D-Nose from No Balls, No Glory, man. Hey, we appreciate the love, big dog. What's going on, man?
Gotcha. All right, Willie Jack, man. And then we had another Saturday game, man. The second Saturday game of the day was a divisional matchup, and we talked about this one before. The winner of this game wins the division. We had the Tennessee Titans traveling to Jacksonville, and they went and the Jaguars come away with this W. They win this one 20-16. 20-16.
Hey, hold on, time out. I'm sorry. Live here. My bad. I was trying to reply to D-Nose, bro, on another comment he made, and I accidentally blocked you. I swear to God. But I'll try to unblock you. D-Nose, bro. Hey, I'm working on it. I was trying to click. They got reply and block right next to each other on my options, bro. And I accidentally clicked the wrong one, moving too fast.
That don't sound very smart, Willie.
It don't, bro. I'm gonna get you back in here, man.
For it to have those right next to each other. I don't know.
It really ain't, bro. Yeah, hey, my fault, D. Hey, D-Nose, man. If you're still in here, big dog, I promise I'm trying to get you back, man. I promise.
Shout out to Willie Jack blocking our people, man.
Hey, come on, man. Not the members, man. Y'all know I wouldn't do you like that. Miles in the building. What's going on, man? He said, shout out to Project Pat. Yeah, he getting busy, man.
Project Pat, man. Shout out to Project Pat. But yeah, man, on to the Tennessee game. Like I said, Tennessee goes to Jacksonville. Jacksonville comes away with the W. They win this one 20-16. And a tough one. A game that was, I expected it to be competitive because of what the game, all the implications that the game had on it, in terms of like you win, you win. I didn't expect Tennessee to come in here and lay down. I expected them to come out and try to put up the best fight they could. And I think that's what they did, man. I gotta respect Tennessee for this game and this game only. Now, as far as the losing streak they had to get to this point, they shouldn't even been here at this moment. If you go back on their season. At one point, I think they were like 7-3 or something like that. And they just went on a full, that's a 7-game losing streak. So to get to this point, you had to have a meltdown. But all in all, talking about this specific game, Tennessee was very competitive, very impressed by Joshua Dobbs. I know you talked about him a little bit too. Very impressed. He came in and it looked like they had everything to lose. On the first drive alone, I think they went for it from 3 4th downs. And I think they converted on every last one of them. So I got to give kudos to his coaching staff for not being scared, for going out there and leaving it all out there. Of course, we expected Derrick Henry to get a lot of carries in this game. He did. But all in all, it came down to that Jacksonville defense that made a big play when it counted. Trevor Lawrence, for as good as he's been playing, I expected more from him. I expected him to put this game on his back and him come out there and get the W, in which he got one touchdown, but he didn't get the one where I felt like it counted the most. They stalled on a few too many drives, in the second half. And it just the Jacksonville Jaguars, I'm worried about them now. I felt like they had a chance to surprise some people going into the playoffs because of how well Trevor Lawrence is playing, but he has to step it up. He has to get back to that point in order for them to be that dangerous team, because if he plays like this, they'll be looking at a first-round exit.
No, for sure. I don't necessarily want to go that hard because it was a divisional matchup and like all the chips, like all the cards on the table for everybody.
Fair point.
You know what I'm saying? And so, but to your point, though, I do see what you're saying. Like you do want to see him. Like the next step in his evolution is being a guy who, when that winning time comes, when it's time to put the nail,
when the lights on, like when the lights on, it's a divisional game, but this is playoff time.
This is playoff game,
Patrick Mahomes ain't had no problem with the Raiders. You know what I'm saying?
No. Yeah.
That's a divisional matchup. It wasn't no problem over there. So go ahead. Do your thing.
But that's exactly right. Like you said, so like that's going to be like the next step, like in his evolution. Okay, like so now can you be a guy that like when the game is in the balance, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, like Chop said, you got a touchdown, but like, no, we need to, it's not necessarily one we needed. The one that really could have put us home or took us, took us over the top. Like that's the one we need. So that's just the next step in his maturation or evolution, as a quarterback. But he's made tremendous strides this year, man. And I know we both feel that way. You know what I'm saying? Like he's made drastic improvements and strides in his game, man, under Doug Peterson. And so if this is the first year of Doug Peterson, man, hey, 2 years from now, bro, that's gonna be what's it look like then? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
As my dog Willie say, it could be scary hours.
And scary hours, but for sure, yeah, because and man, they got all that draft capital, bro. They got they really in position to get some
Draft capital. They brought over Calvin Ridley. He's gonna be another weapon for their offense. Yeah, so they got some things to look forward to, regardless of how the rest of the season plans out. In the playoffs. So
for sure,
cool. All right, Willie Jack, it's about time to jump into the games we're going to see today, man. The games we're going to see today. And I'm still looking at some of this stuff. I'm looking into the information, man, and I'm trying to see who's going to be in, who's going to be out, who's sitting players, who's going to rest guys for the playoffs and what they're going to look like. But, I'm going to try to go through some of this information and see what's going on as we go through it. So the first game on the docket, we got the Tampa Bay Bucks going to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. It's a divisional matchup. And I'm going Bucks in this one. I'm gonna go Bucks in this game simply because right now I don't think the Bucks are in a position to where they can comfortably rest their players. The way they've been playing this entire season, they need their players out there. They need to continue to build their chemistry. They need to have another. It don't have to be another 10, 207, 3 touchdown games for Mike Evans, but I want to see that chemistry continue. I want to see Tom Brady go out here and have another game where he connects, with his guy, alongside, Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin and Tom Brady have been all right all year, but connect with Mike Evans. Also, get a little bit of that run game going. Also, I want to see that defense, step up a little bit more because these are all the things that's been question marks for this team as we go into this season. So that's what I want to see going into this particular game. And I want to see Tampa Bay go out here and take care of business again. Again, this is another divisional matchup, but I don't care. This is a divisional matchup. It's time for y'all to get things in order. So in order for y'all to get things together in order and ready for the playoffs, y'all got to come out and put it together. Because other than that, I know people always gonna consider them dangerous because he got Tom Brady, TB12, behind center. But I'm not too confident in what the Bucks look like going into this playoff. So I want to see the Bucks go out here and handle business. Falcons, I think they're going to fight. It's pride. Desmond Ridder just coming off his first W, and they're going to come out ready to fight. But Bucks, I expect y'all to come out and handle business. Come handle business like the playoff team that y'all are and separate yourself from the record that y'all have in the regular season.
No, for sure. What score you going there?
Oh, you're right. You're right. My bad. I'm tripping. I'm going to go Bucks. Yeah, come on, handle business, Bucks. Give me. I'm okay with a 27-16 win. 27-16. You win by 11, but comfortably. Control this game comfortably. I'm okay with that. Go give me that. Give me that score in this game.
I got you. And honestly, I feel pretty much the same. I'm gonna go ahead and call him Tom Brady and them again because Tom Brady was out there doing slinging that thing last week.
He was out there slinging it, boy.
Hey, he was out there slinging that thing last week, man. Y'all can be Tom Brady and them again for this last week, man. But like I said, their division is locked up. I'm not sure. And it is on the road. It is in Atlanta, a game that at the end of the day doesn't really affect the present team in China. But for a team that's been so up and down and really kind of struggled this year, I would think that they kind of take this. You want to they're a team that needs to build any type of momentum and just good vibe energy that they can get going. And so I think this is the game to where, depending how this game looks in the first half, we may or may not see like several of the key players in the second half type of thing. Like, let's say if Atlanta comes out there determined to hit them boys in the mouth and run, you know what I'm saying, do this, then I don't know how much you really want to fight it and really push it because, like I said, you really do have bigger fish to fry. You know what I'm saying? You've got Dallas coming to y'all probably. What's that going to be? Most likely Dallas coming to you guys just next week in a game that's going to be very winnable by my account. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of everything else, that's going to be a winnable game for them. And so, you know what I mean? At the end of the day,
if Dallas comes to them,
well, assuming it's going to be Dallas, like I said, that's still in there. But assuming it is Dallas, then like I said, then I think that if they had their choice of the options presented, then I think they would want Dallas to come in there as well. So I think, like I said, let's say if Atlanta comes out and is just firing on all cylinders. You know what I'm saying? Desmond Ridder and the young fella, you know what I'm saying? They get out there lighting it up at the crib one last time before they go home. Let's say this thing gets 17-3 at halftime. I don't know how much time I want to see in the second half of that game. You know, for what? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at with it. But I'm going to take Tom Brady now to get it done, at least in the, you know what I'm saying, how I'm going to call it. And I'll go 24-17 on the road to see if they, like I said, they can get a dub, get some good momentum going into this next matchup.
For sure. All right, Willie Jack, on to the next one. The next game we got the Patriots going to Buffalo to take on the Bills. And before I let you go in this game first, Willie Jack, I do want to talk. They already talked about it. I read a few reports. They do plan on recognizing DeMar Hamlin in this game, as well as the Bills medical staff. I mean, or the medical staff that helped him during the night of the incident. So they do plan on recognizing them for that. So I just want to put that out there, because I know you talked about, how thankful we were. And I'm pretty sure everybody else was for that medical staff that went out there and helped DeMar Hamlin in the incident. So they do plan on recognizing them in this particular game. But Willie Jack, going to the specific game, who you got winning this one?
Oh man, come on, man, Big Josh, man, Big Josh and them Bills, man. And this, like I said, this is one of those games where there's a few teams you just don't want to play. Like, you don't want to play Andy Reid after a bye week. You just don't. You know what I mean? You don't want to, or there's just some of those teams. So Buffalo, man, emotions are going to be rampant. The very last game of the season at home against a division rival, of course, in a game that they're not going to take. They're not going to take any slight on anyway. And like you said, you've got that extra motivation, man, of do it for DeMar. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if they got that on T-shirts yet in Buffalo, man. Y'all can have that one for free, man.
Do it for DeMar.
Matter of fact, somebody hashtag do it for DeMar in the chat for your boy, man. For your dog, man. Do it for DeMar.
You know hashtag do it for DeMar.
Hey, that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? So, like, they playing with an extra chip, man. You know what I'm saying? They playing for 2 extra chips. And so they got all the extra motivation they need. And then plus as well, man, just this New Orleans team who fought very hard, fought very well, and like I said, are still in the mix themselves for play. They winning in. And so if you don't think Bill's gonna be ready to come out here and play boogeyman for all this, do it for DeMar and all this, and the Buffalo well wishes and all that, man, that don't mean nothing to Bill, man. Bill will come out here and put it on y'all boys if y'all ain't ready to play. You come out there playing on emotion and that's it. You know what I mean? So Bill and I don't expect those guys to lay down, but I do expect it's going to be just too much on the side of Buffalo, man. It is in their home. And so I think they actually I think they actually put this one away, man. I think, like I said, I think they go out there determined to put on a show, and I think they get it done. I'm going 30-13 Buffalo on the road to knock off them Patriots for one, like I need, you know what I'm saying, for my own selfish playoff scenario. But also, like I said, man, to get this one done, like I said, it's too much on the line, man. It's going to be too much DeMar energy in that stadium, man, for the Patriots to.
What was your score, Willie Jack? What was your score again?
30-13.
Give me 31-13. 31-13.
31-13.
And I view this game in similar fashion that you view it, Willie Jack. To me, it's just like the game went with right after the Steelers legend Franco Harris passed away. You know.
We weren't losing that one, bro. I'll let you. We ain't losing that one.
Yeah, it's no way that the Bills are losing this one. I feel the exact same way. Now, like you said, this is a playoff. You know, it's a potential playoff. It is a playoff game.
It's a playoff game for New England. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's a playoff game for them, so it's like a win and end. So they're gonna come out and put their best foot forward, but I don't think it's happening in this game. It's gonna be too much on the line. Like I said, it's gonna be really emotional. It's in Buffalo. Yeah, the Patriots are gonna have a rough one today. It's gonna be a rough one, and the Bills come out, take care of business. 31-13 final score of this game. Bills come away with a W, and they put themselves in position to be possibly playing it. Could possibly put themselves in position to play in neutral site. Play for their neutral site. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. And then shout out to our dog Miles, man, in the building. He said Patriots ought to play the Bills tough. And don't forget the other Bill, man, big bad Bill Belichick, man, for sure. If you sleeping on Bill, boy, hey, that's a rude ass awakening, boy. That's the last thing you're gonna do. Last thing you're gonna do is sleep on big bad boogeyman Bill for sure. Hey, and then shout out to my dog Ty, man, my dog Mike. Hey, do it for DeMar, man. Real talk, man. Do it for DeMar. Like I said, Buffalo, man, y'all can have that one for free. On the strength of Big Josh, man. Y'all know what's up. Come on, man.
On the strength of Big Josh.
Just on the strength of Big Josh.
And I will say that, and the one that stands out to me always is the one from last year, man. The one from last year where they
50 balled them.
They
50 on the boys.
And that's what I'm trying to think is like, do they really play them tough? The only game I remember playing the Patriots playing the Bills tough is in the game where it was super duper windy and the Patriots threw the ball 3 times.
Yeah.
This year they lost 24-10 to the Bills. No, but
I do think I think those early matchups for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like those first 2 years, I feel like Bill. I mean, pre Stephon Diggs and still young Josh, but here
this is a different ball game. Yeah, these last 2 years, this is 2 different ball games.
These last 2 years has been more so that, but I still think it's a game like, man, you can't. it's still
No, you never
you gotta keep
can
your eye
look
on the
past
ball. Like,
never, because it's Bills. It's the Patriots. The Patriots gonna try to play everybody tough, but at the same
yeah.
time, it's like, yeah, well, Bills different, man. They different. This is a different Bills team, So yeah, going there. On to the next one, Willie Jack. Let's go to Chicago. Where Minnesota goes to Chicago to take on the Bears, and this was actually one of those games where I felt like I don't know what Minnesota plans on doing with the players. I don't know. Now I hope your dog comes out, and he balls and redeems himself, because Lord knows he needs it. He needs to redeem himself this week. But yeah, man, it's not many implications for the Bears. I think they actually start Nathan Peterman in this game, so Justin Fields is not even starting in this game. So regardless of what Minnesota does, I'm gonna go Minnesota in this one. I'm gonna go Minnesota. I think they need it. I think this is actually another team that needs to at least get their starter suppressed.
You gotta get that taste out your mouth. You gotta get your taste out your mouth.
Yeah, for sure. So you got to do something. You got to get them guys in the game, get some rhythm going. Try to get this offense back on track. Try to get let your defense get some confidence. You're going against a Nathan Peterman offense with no wide receiver weapons. A middle of the pack running back. Not that he's a bad running back, but literally the offense that they have for Chicago. I mean, the weapons that they have on offense. It was literally Justin Fields, especially once Darnell Mooney went out. Darnell Mooney's been out. Their offensive weapon was Justin Fields and David Montgomery. And I guess you could throw in Khalil Herbert in there too, but, that's like a two-hitting tandem. Other than that, that's it. So now you got Nathan Peterman, starting, not anybody, nobody really views him as a huge threat. Go get some confidence. Let your defense go get some confidence and go into the playoffs with some confidence, because they're going to need that defense to play some ball, and if they're going to come away with any type of W's in the playoffs. Because if not, there's another team that could be looking at a first-round exit. But get all that to say, give me Minnesota in this game. I guess Minnesota winning this one pretty comfortably as well. I get them 31. Give them 34. Give them 34 in this game against this Bears team, and get Bears 17. 34-17, final score of this game. Vikings should be able to take care of business, but we'll see. They need to have a game like this, going into the playoff.
No, exactly. And just like we were saying, man, this is a team much kind of like similar to what I said about Tampa Bay, but I think even more so. Minnesota needs this win, because Minnesota, for as impressive a season that they've had a couple absolute weeks where they just didn't show up. You know what I mean? And so last week, of course, being one of those times, man. But so they like I said, they definitely need this one. I think more so than meets the eye, just obviously because they already submitted into the playoffs. But just like you said, they've got to get a little mojo back. You got to get a little swag back. You know what I mean? And I think they've got a soft target to do so. It's on the road, but it is Chicago with Nathan Peterman, like we just said. I think Minnesota handled business 28-10, and not necessarily a record-breaking day for Justin Jefferson, but I do think it's going to be a point, especially again in the early game, in the early going of this game. This game with Minnesota, especially if Minnesota comes out here and puts up a quick 21 points, this could be a game where they realistically do start to pull starters and sit guys midway through the third quarter, because this plan is already put away, because I just don't expect much on the other side coming from Chicago with Nathan Peterman. Then also selfishly, I need Chicago to make sure they lose this game, because that gives my Steelers with a pseudo first-round pick for Chase Claypool, because there's only 31 picks in the first round of the draft this year, because Miami was stripped of a pick for tampering with Touchdown Tommy. And so right now, if Chicago loses, they would have the first pick in the second round, which in this coming year's draft would have been the 32nd pick, would have been the last pick in the first round, essentially. And then that pick, we own that pick from the trade of Chase Claypool. And so, yeah, I need y'all to do what y'all – just don't mess this up, Minnesota. I don't need Minnesota to go out there and get 40 balled again by a no-name team or quarterback, man. Don't play around with me. You know what I'm saying? Get my first round pick. You know what I'm saying? Handle y'all business. Get Jettis about 125. You know what I'm saying? Get his confidence back up. Then y'all go in the playoffs, man, and see what y'all can get done.
Gotcha. And I'm actually looking and trying to see how many yards short, even if he's of course short of the 2,000 yard mark. Mm-hmm. I'm looking to see how many yards Justin Jefferson needs to break Calvin Johnson's single series record.
It should be like 194.
194. Yeah. He needs 194 to break it. 194 to actually break the record. 193 to tie. So that's where we are. Justin needs to have a huge day in order to break their record. We'll see if that's their intention.
If this was a game that they actually needed to play and needed to go back and forth, then I'm not gonna, man, 200 wouldn't be out the question. Like I don't think in this game against this opponent, realistically, like I wouldn't think that 200 would be out of reach, honestly. But I just don't think he's gonna get the reps opportunity to do so. Like I said, they still playing for bigger, you know what I'm saying, bigger fish to fry.
For sure. Willie Jack, and I'll just be waiting on those push-ups whenever they come. But on to the next one, Willie Jack. Let's go to the next game. And we actually talked about this one a little bit on our Wednesday show. I don't know what was going on. I felt like this game was on Saturday, but this game is actually being played today. So I think it makes sense if we go ahead and touch on this game real quick again. It's a game in your division, Willie Jack. We got the Baltimore Ravens going to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals, which can be a really, really good game, a potential game of the week. And I'm going Bengals in this one. I'm going Bengals. Really, you got to remind me of my score.
I got you,
but I don't. Go ahead.
You had Cincinnati 27-16. If you want to keep it.
Yeah, and I'm still keeping that game because I still feel the same. Lamar's out this game, so he's not playing, and I probably expect him to come back in the playoffs, but. The Bengals and the way that their defense has been playing and the way that the offense of the Ravens has looked, they've been looking a little sluggish. Regardless of who they're playing, they just struggle to put up points. It's almost like regardless of who they're playing against, it just feels like a struggle. It just feels hard to come by. It makes nothing looks fluid in this particular offense that the Baltimore Ravens have. That's why I feel like the Ravens, they aren't going to have a big scoring day. Now, they know how to win. If they don't know how to do anything else, they know how to come away with the wins, which is the reason why they're in the position that they're in. That they locked up their playoff spot a couple weeks ago. So Baltimore does know how to win. They can do that. But as far as their offense and how fluid they look and them going against the Cincinnati Bengals team, I think the Bengals are about to give the Ravens all the frustrations of not being able to have a legit shot at the number 1 seed. They finna take it all out on Baltimore today. And from what I've seen, just from the opening minutes of Cincinnati in that Buffalo game last week, Cincinnati's ready to go. So everything that Cincinnati was bringing to that Buffalo game, Baltimore, they bringing it to you, bro. They bringing it to Baltimore, and I expect the Cincinnati Bengals to come in and take care of business. 27-16, final score of this game could, again, be a big game for Jamar Chase. It could be one of those games. Marlon Humphrey, you got your work cut out for you today, sir. So we'll see what happens in this one.
No, and I'll take Cincinnati as well. And then honestly, man, shout out to our dog, man. Isaiah, man, he had
My fault. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you good. Yeah, I was going to say, shout out to our dog, Isaiah, man, in the building. He reminded me, man, the Ravens are resting guys. And I know for sure I saw J.K. Dobbins is getting set down, in anticipation for the playoffs. And then I believe the only other guy I would think then, if I don't know if I saw a specific article about who else specifically maybe getting rested to sit down, I would imagine Mark Andrews. If J.K. Dobbins is sit down, then I want Mark Andrews to sit down. You know what I'm saying? Like, who else are we throwing the ball? You know what I'm saying? So I would imagine maybe Mark Andrews, if not set down flat out, then limited, or he's going to be on some type of pitch count for sure. And then, hey, Isaiah, man, if you in here, man, if you know specifically of some people who just full-fledged ain't going to play or start, man, drop in the chat for me, big dog. But I do know for sure that I did see that J.K. Dobbins was pulled from this. And then in the article I read that said that J.K. Dobbins is getting pulled, it also said that, and I didn't realize this, but since he returned to the starting lineup from his own trip on IR, that he's leading the league in, I think, yardage and yards per carry in like the 6 weeks he's been back or something like that. Or something, it was something to that effect, honestly, just in the time since he's been back. Which is huge. And so, which also just shows just how valuable and how dangerous he is. And so, ergo, why he's probably sitting down today. But then, like I said, in that offense, man, Gus Edwards, Kenyon Drake still in there, man, a guy that kind of got forgot about, who did a lot of heavy lifting in the beginning of the season. But I've got Cincinnati still getting this one done as well. I'm going 27-20.
Gotcha. And just to throw a couple names there. So, Tyler Huntley is out too. So, Brett Huntley or is it Anthony Brown? It looks like, I don't know if it's Brett Huntley and Anthony Brown. It looks like Anthony Brown is next up. That's what they got listed on the depth chart as of right now. Anthony Brown is next up to get the start in this particular game. So I don't know how much I feel. Yeah. I feel in them getting 16.
I just about to say, I'm definitely taking one of them touchdowns away. 27-13. 27-13.
Yeah, give me
27-13 Cincinnati.
yeah, give me 27-9, man. 27-9.
Okay. And shout out to my dog Ike, man. He said, Mark Andrews, Marcus Peters, J.K. Dobbins, we mentioned, and then Tyler Huntley all being sat today. And so the Ravens essentially conceding this unless something crazy happens. You know what I'm saying? And the Bengals drop an egg, and the backups go in there and just do something extremely unlikely.
Which to me, that's kind of puzzling, especially with me reading off the playoff scenarios. You know what I'm saying? You have the opportunity if Cincinnati, if Cincinnati loses today. I mean, I'm sorry, not if they lose. If they beat Cincinnati today, to have a home playoff game. You have that opportunity if they end up playing each other. So
I thought Cincinnati had locked up the division, and so that
they're giving them the division title, but Baltimore still had a shot at but because of the cancellation, now what they're doing is saying, all right, if Baltimore beats Cincinnati, this game could have been the game that decided the division. But depending on how the game last week would have played out. If the Bengals would have lost last week and then they come into this week against Baltimore, you know what I'm saying?
But not in this current scenario though, since that game's canceled and it is what it is, then I thought that meant that Cincinnati is locked and Baltimore can't. Yeah.
No, you're right. They rewarded them. The division, but they're still, with the way that they did it, they're still giving the Ravens an opportunity to have a home game. You know what I'm saying? So if the Ravens beat the Bengals today and they end up having to play each other, like again in the playoffs, like in the wild card, they doing a coin flip. They're doing a coin flip for the home field advantage in this game.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, and that's okay. I do remember seeing that now.
So that's what I was saying. I was just kind of curious, or wondering why they don't want that, or what's their reasoning behind
And you know what? And you know what? I think it. Man, my bad, bro. I'm getting a delay. My fault.
My bad. Go ahead.
No, my fault. I'm getting a delay, man. I keep cutting you off, and I'm realizing now that I'm behind you. My fault.
You good?
But no, I think what it may be, man. The way Cincinnati's been looking. And then honestly, even in 8 minutes of football, that was, man, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know how that game would have played out because football is a 4-quarter game, but Cincinnati came out there and, like I said, they look to be taking, to be setting the pace, at least in the early going. Like I said, we only got 7 minutes of football in a 4-quarter game. But it may be one of those things as well. Also, the Ravens maybe taking into account where they really are right now without Lamar Jackson being on the field, and just maybe they just looked at it like, look, maybe we go out there, put these guys in, but maybe does Tyler Huntley outduel Joe Burrow, realistically? You know what I'm saying? On the road, and it's on the road in Cincinnati as well. So going to Cincinnati, a Cincinnati team that's pissed off as well. Like, what really? I think maybe they probably weighed the odds of, okay, is it more beneficial to make sure that the guys that we know we'll need next week are healthy, or do we want to take a flyer and risk injury on still a long shot of maybe? Maybe that's what they're looking at. Maybe still a bit of a long shot to expect us to go in there and get this one done. All for a coin flip still, and not a guarantee to lock it in.
Right.
It's still a coin flip. You know what I'm saying? So kind of one of those things where one in the hand is worth two in the bush. You know what I'm saying? So, man, we've got one in the hand. Sit these boys down. Let's see if we can talk Lamar back onto the field this time next week anyway. And then if not, then the last thing we could do is afford to have Tyler Huntley get lost in the game that we lost him trying to fight for a coin flip. You know what I'm saying? And so maybe in the grand scheme, that's where they were going with that. And then now real quick, man, my dog Isaiah, he said they beat the Bengals already in Cincinnati. They don't care about home field. Bull stuff, bro. Home field matters. And I don't care how many times you beat them in the regular season. When it's playoffs, it's win and go home. They are real. I mean, anybody in the playoffs has got to be respected anyway. No, they want that home field. There's nobody alive. There's nobody anywhere in 32 cities in the league, across this league. Nobody's going to concede a playoff game on the road if you don't have to.
For sure.
Or just not from that line of thinking that we don't mind going to beat them there. Like, hell no.
Right. I understand. On to the next game. Go ahead.
Before you move on, because I wanted to bring this up, man, because it came up a little bit in the group, and I'm glad Isaiah just brought it back up, man. And I promise you after this, man, I'm gonna be on turbo time, so I'm gonna keep us on clock.
Nah, you good, bro? Do your thing.
But this is a good comment. Lamar's playing a dangerous money game. If he doesn't play and they happen to win the wild card game, his bag dropped about $6 to $10 million a year. Now, I completely disagree with this because, for one, Like the knock on a playoff win isn't going to be enough for them to say we're a better off team with Tyler Huntley pulling the strings than we are Lamar. Now, Tyler Huntley goes on a run and does something crazy, wins the Super Bowl, or I mean, even still, man, I still don't think this hurts Lamar's bag at all. Because even if it's not in Baltimore, we got to remember, Jimmy G left New England as a career backup. He had 3 starts. He set the quarterback market. He wasn't a unanimous MVP. He wasn't the most electric running threat at the quarterback position in the history of the league. He didn't have any of that cachet. He wouldn't set the market. Kirk Cousins left and set the market in Minnesota from being the backup to RG3 in Washington. You know what I'm saying? So, like, Boys is playing for quarterbacks. Boys is playing for average quarterbacks. Now you've got a guy who's dynamic, a true difference maker when he's healthy. He's going to get paid. You know what I'm saying? Miami was interested in him. Brian Flores is suing the league because he wanted to push to get Lamar and get Tua out of there. You know what I mean? So, and Tua is still with his health situation. We still don't know what's going on there. Miami's still not out of the mix. The Raiders still ain't out of the mix. I mean, there's teams across this league, bro. So wherever he goes next, he's going to break the market. Now, only question is going to be whether or not he breaks or matches Deshaun Watson's fully guaranteed contract situation, which has been a holdup with him in Baltimore. And I'm not mad at him at all. I'm down on the hill. If I'm him in Baltimore, I'm down on the hill too. You're not going to have a guy come in my division. He ain't played ball in 2 years, and him collect 250 guaranteed, and I'm going to take less than that? Which one of us got an MVP? You know what I'm saying? Which one of us ain't been in the news for anything outside of what I did on the field? I'm not taking no shorts on that either, real talk. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't mad at him at all. But where are you at on that, Chop? You know what I'm saying? As far as what do you think?
No, and I was about to talk to you, but I agree with what you said, Willie Jack, because of the fact that that's just the way it works. It's not even about a lot of times. It's not even about it's not 100% about your all around performance. You know what I'm saying? But like at the same time, it's like Lamar Jackson has established himself as a top 10 QB in the league. So if you're a top 10 QB in the league, when it's time to pay you, they're gonna pay you. You know what I'm saying? Everything else is out the window. You know, Kyler Murray. You know,
top 10 is still too generous. When he's on, he's a top 3 guy. When he's on, he's a top 3, 4, 5 guy. You know what I'm saying? So even top 10 is cutting them a little short. Right,
but that's why I say legit. Like, there's no argument. There's no argument.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But for the sake of what we're talking about, if you're a top 10 guy, you're getting paid when it's your time. No, if you got an established top 10 guy on your team, most guys are doing whatever they need to do. Most teams and organizations are doing whatever they need to do to keep that guy in the building. And whatever they need to pay him, they're going to pay him. You know what I mean? So that's just the name of the game. You know, that's how it goes, and teams will continue to do that. So they're going to pay the guy, man. They're going to pay the guy. So, you know, that's what's going on there.
Yeah, and then real quick, man, Isaiah threw out a couple names as well, some teams that I didn't even mention, but Atlanta, Jets, and Saints, man, any and all of them will break the bank right now. They will line up to get that man $45 million a year. Easy. You know what I'm saying? And the number probably is going to be somewhere closer to 50. But all of them are going to throw $45 million at Lamar Jackson a year without blinking. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? Like, without question. Even if it's just those 3 teams, he'll get 50 from either of them 3 if those 3 are bidding against themselves. You know what I'm saying? We saw the frenzy that a 2-year off-layard Deshaun Watson created. We saw the frenzy. Matt Ryan lost 15 years in Atlanta, boy, because they had a sniff of Deshaun. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, and Deshaun ain't Lamar. You know what I'm saying? Period. You know what I'm saying? Deshaun was ascending. He was doing these things. He hasn't accomplished what Lamar's accomplished. He just hasn't. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, Lamar Jackson getting paid. Lamar, and I hope it's somewhere other than in black and purple. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna be sad to see him go, but I hope wherever he do go, man, he cash out. My dog Tom in the building too. He said the Texans will cash him out too. Well, y'all got the number 1 draft pick, bro. So I don't know when you have the number 1 pick, because it's not definitive that you guys will be the winning bidding team. And we don't know if he wants to go there and just step into the shadow of Deshaun a little bit. And so I don't know. I think it's too risky for the Texans to pass up on a guy with his number 1 pick. And so I don't necessarily think the Texans do it. Now, let's say if the Texans were picking around pick number 5 or 6, where you're not guaranteed Bryce Young, then I think that's a little more interesting, real talk. But if you're guaranteed the number 1 pick, then I think you go ahead and they're looking for that organization as a whole is looking to start clean, start fresh, and you know what I'm saying, boom. And so I don't necessarily think the Texans, but if they had a real shot at them, hell yeah.
Gotcha. And I'm let's move into another game, Willie Jack. Well, another team where I think could possibly use him, man. We got the Houston Texans going to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like the Colts. I can't see it, Willie Jackson. You have to tell me about it, but
yeah, no, my bad. I didn't mean to, and I accidentally took your comment away. My fault. I meant to click on it to respond, man. Man, I can't hear you. Hey, it's too early for this. Like, you in there talking to? Hey, man, we talking to me. You talking too spicy, man. I'm a Deshaun fan. He said Deshaun at 4-12 played better than this year than any Lamar year. Dog, you trolling now, bro.
He said this year.
He said than any Deshaun this year at 4-12 played better than any Lamar year. Come on, man. That's cap, bro. Come on, you stop that, man.
Yeah,
Unanimous MVP season, bro. 1,200 rushing yards, 3,500 passing yards. It was like 35 or 40 total touchdowns. I think he still only had, you know what I'm saying, less than 10 turnovers. Yeah, man, you trolling me now, man. Look, stop playing with me like that. Go ahead, Chop. My bad, dog.
You good. Yeah. But going to the Colts, man. We got the Houston Texans going to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. Okay. And now this game doesn't mean anything in terms of, you know, playoff contention or anything like that. But it does have first round implications on it. So Houston Texans, if they lose this game, they get the first round pick. You know what I'm saying? They get the first overall pick. Now, if they win this game, then there's the opportunity. And you said the Steelers have that pick from Chicago, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, we got from the Chase Claypool trade. Yeah.
That is the reason why I feel like the Texans gonna win this game. I'm going Texas because first overall pick, you know, I think they got a chance to get their guy. I think they can get their guy, you know, because regardless of what happens, the team that's there is the team that really doesn't need a quarterback right now. They're not fishing for a quarterback. Now, here's the fishy part. The fishy part is the team their first round pick. If it's a team other than the Texans, who needs a quarterback? Who wants this first round pick? Who wants to come trade me and come up and move up to this spot and come get you a QB? Because right now I can afford to move a couple spots back and let you do that. So do the Houston Texans play that game and allow that to happen? Allow somebody to swoop in and play that game with them? Or do they say, you know what? Hey, man, we coming out to win. I don't care what nobody talking about. We coming out to win. But all in all, give me the Texans in this game. The Texans, I feel like over the last 4 or 5 weeks, overall have been a better team than the Colts. You know, it's a toilet bowl. Let's just put it out there. This is definitely a toilet
bowl for sure.
But I'm going Texas in this game just because of the fact that I like what their pass defense does. You know, they play a little feisty, you know, in this particular game. The Colts haven't been able to get anything done. They got Nick Foles starting in this game again. And yeah, I got the Texas, man. I'm going Texas in this game. I think they win this one 24-20. Final score of this game, 24-20. Texas come away with the win against the Colts.
Hey, man. Hey, shout out to our dog. Day one gang, Jarrell in the building, man. Put the toilets in the chat, man. Y'all know what's going on. It's a real live toilet bowl for sure. And then shout out to our dog, man. Tom, our resident Texas fan, man, and Houston's very own. Hey, he said he's pulling for the loss, man. We better lose, man. He said he's going to cry, man, if they lose and trick this off, real talk. And honestly, this game, to me, I didn't have any faith in the Colts either, just because just the way things been going. Like, man, watch the Colts go out there and get mollywopped by the Texans. But I don't think it's going to happen because I think somebody will pull the plug they're in Indianapolis, so they can't pull the plug on the stadium. But somebody, man, Lovie Smith will be fired at halftime if this game is too competitive. Like, nah, don't trick this off, bro. We're not playing for pride. That's out the window. We're playing for the number one pick. Stop playing with me. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get Bryce Young. We're not tricking it off. We're not going to be in the number 2 spot and let somebody come in there and swoop and steal them. You know what I mean? Like, nah, we going to have that number 1 pick. And if for some reason we decide to do something else with it, that's going to be on us. But we're going to secure the bag first. Rule number 1 is secure the bag. The bag right now is the number 1 pick. There's nothing else more important than that. And so it's going to be a lot of it'd be a lot of overt. If the Texans players somehow got out there and got to be, man, it's going to be guys getting pulled and subbed out this game for no reason at all. Like, they're not going to let them go
hey,
out there.
Man, you was balling on that play, man. Get out.
Hey, get him out of there. Get him out. Damian Perry, who told you to try to break a 40-yard run, man? Get him out of there, man. You got a hamstring sore.
Derek Stingley, he was locking up on that play. What you doing? Come on, get out.
Yeah, get him out of there, man. Yeah, y'all stop playing, man. But I got the Colts. The Colts gonna get this done, man. Either on the strength of themselves or on the strength of the Texans giving it to them. But 20-13, Jeff Saturday ends his NFL coaching career on a victory.
Gotcha. All right, Willie Jack. And I'm gonna go to the next game. The next game, we got the New York Jets going to Miami to take on the Dolphins. What about this one? Who you got in this one?
Jets and Dolphins. See, this one I'm going with the Jets, man. This is part of the playoff scenario I need for my Steelers, man. I need the Patriots to lose, and I need the Dolphins to lose. And honestly, man, the way these matchups are shaping up, man, it's very possible the Jets are going to Miami, but they're facing Skylar Thompson, and Joe Flacco is going to be pulling the trigger for the Jets. I'll take Joe Flacco over to Skylar Thompson, even on the road, even in Week 18. It's still troublesome, though, because the Dolphins are still fighting for a playoff spot. If Skylar Thompson makes some type of magic happen, in the Bills do beat the Patriots, then Miami could have that last seat. But that's gonna be a tall order, man. Especially a Jets team that isn't going to the playoffs. But Robert Salah, he's a guy that makes me think. He puts me in the mind of like a Mike Vrabel, a Dan Campbell, a Mike Tomlin. To this extent, that team's not gonna lay down. Period. You know what I mean? Like if Robert Salah, Mike Tomlin, Mike Vrabel's coaching the Texans are playing to win today because those guys, they not gonna lay down. You know what I mean? So I think Robert Salah, he's gonna have that team fired up and ready to go. Just like we said in the other game for Houston about playing for pride. Well, the Jets are gonna play for pride today. You know what I mean? I truly like that's the mindset of that team and like of that coach. And like I said, they've got a lot of young guys that had a lot of good success this year. And so finish out this season strong, finish out on a win. And I think those are things that they'll take and build as they look to go forward next year, man, and be a real contender. I'm going to take the Jets on the road 24-20. 24-20.
Gotcha. And I'm gonna go 27-23 the final score of this game. I'm going Jets too, Willie Jack. And it's more so like you said in the beginning. We got Joe Flacco versus Skylar Thompson, man. And on top of that, this Jets defense is good. Now they will be tested this game because you got Sauce. I don't know if he's went up against this type of speed, as of just yet. You know what I'm saying? So that is, and there go Miles. I appreciate you coming in, Miles. Talking about Sauce versus Hill.
And he said it's his game of the week for that reason. It's his game of the week. He wants to Sauce versus Hill.
Because I want to see that. I want to see how that matchup unfolds. But also the biggest part, and I heard Primetime say this too, was that Sauce is guarding Tyreek Hill. But at the end of the day, it's that quarterback that's coming out and looking to see where Sauce is at. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Sauce is playing against your QB. So he's playing against your QB a lot. And that's a huge part in this particular game. And you're talking about Skylar Thompson, who's is not proven at all in this league. You know what I'm saying? So as it sits, if we're talking Sauce versus Hill, just them straight up, it's a very good matchup. But then we also talking about, Sauce in the head of a QB who's worrying, all right, should I go at him? And how he attacks him in this particular game. So that's going to be a key matchup as well. That three-way matchup between those guys, it's going to be a chess matchup for sure to see who comes out on top. But I'm going Jets in this one. I think Jets come out and ruin Miami's playoff hopes. And I think it's about that time. And Willie Jack, the more I talk about these games, man, the more I feel like the Steelers going to have the opportunity. It's going to be right in the Steelers' hands. So it's just going to be, all right, Steelers, can y'all take care of business? Can y'all get it done and get in the playoffs, in terms with this last game? Go out there and get y'all a W, because if the Jets come out there and beat the Dolphins, there's a good chance Buffalo is going to be taking care of business, at home against New England. So, that's what it's going to be looking like. But, yeah, give me 27-23 final score of this game. I got Jets over Dolphins.
Gotcha. Then, man, one of the members, man, Isaiah, in the chat, he said it sounds like he's taking the Dolphins, man. He said he's got confidence that Mike McDaniels and that Dolphins offense are still going to find a way to game plan and get Hill involved in this one. Like I said, this for them. Assuming, of course, that Buffalo beats the Patriots, then this would be a winning end game for the Dolphins. But man, like I said, that's just a tall order, man. With your third string quarterback, it is at home. You still do have all those weapons around you, but you've got a very aggressive and young, fiery defense. That's a tall order.
And speaking to Isaiah's point, yeah, they're gonna try to scheme Tyreek Hill open. I expect a lot of screens and short plays. So the Jets are also gonna have to tackle Will. They will have to tackle Will in this game because if you don't tackle Will, we've seen Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill turn 3-yard, 5-yard slants into 70-yard touchdowns, and you don't want that in this game. So they have to tackle Will. They have to pursue the ball. They're gonna be playing a lot of pursuit drill today. So that's what they'll have to do to get this W.
Gotcha. I'm just in the chat, my dog Ike, man. He was talking when we were talking Bryce Young as the pick for the Texans, and then I think he was preferential to CJ Stroud. So I was talking to him about that. But going into this season, I was as well. I didn't see CJ Stroud take the step I thought he would, that I wanted to see him take, because I thought going into this year he was going to take another step and take away that number one spot just quickly. You know what I'm saying? But nah, man, I think the way Bryce played this year, and then CJ Stroud had a bit of a, I mean, I don't want to necessarily say a dud, but it was a, I mean, I guess it fell a little flat. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there was still a lot of deficiencies in this game, namely with how he deals and handles with pressure, his pocket mobility or lack thereof. I mean, there's a lot of holes in this game, man, that he still needs time to grow with. And I think Bryce Young is shown, like I said, on the biggest stages, man, that he's already far and away ahead of him in those areas right now. But yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
No, you good. And we're gonna do one more Willie Jack before we go into the break, really quick, man. What we got? The Carolina Panthers going to New Orleans to take on the Saints, Willie Jack. And I'm gonna go Saints in this game, man. I'm gonna go Saints in this game. The Saints are playing some good ball right now. They finally got Marcus Lattimore back. This would be a potential. This would have been a potential playoff game if Tampa Bay didn't win last week. I was hoping that it would, because I preferred to see the Saints in that divisional as a divisional champ in the playoffs over Tampa Bay, man. I just didn't like the way Tampa Bay has been playing all year long. It's not exciting or good football. The football I want to see. So I was rooting for the Saints, and I'm rooting for them in this game too. Now on the other end, I do want Steve Wilkes to get that opportunity. I think this game will be huge, and having him have another opportunity to be a head coach in the league. And I really hope that he gets this job. So at the very least, they will have to be competitive in this game. But I got the Saints in this one. I got the Saints winning this one. I think their defense is playing, top-notch football. They playing very, very physical ball, and that's the style of ball that I think the Saints are most effective at. If they can play that physical style, using Taysom Hill, using Alvin Kamara, having Dalton come in, hit those completions to the tight end. Jawan Johnson is actually coming along as a tight end in this league, man. He plays some solid ball, had a solid season this year. So I'm anxious to see how he continues to develop and evolve as a tight end threat with this New Orleans team. And this is another team I want to see what they do at the QB position next year. They brought in Winston. Didn't look like it worked out. Ran with Andy Dalton all year. So I want to see what moves they make this particular season to, help out with their position. So all in all, give me Saints in this game. They come away with this victory, in a pride game against a divisional opponent. Final score, I'm gonna go 20-17. 20-17, low score in a fair physical game. Saints come out on top.
And you know what, man? It's funny because I've got the same score 2017, but I'm going the other way, man. I'm pulling for Steve Wilkes and the Carolina Panthers. I'm not gonna pull. I can't pull for them Saints until y'all do right by Jameis Winston, man. Y'all do right by JB Wins, man. I was tired of seeing Andy Dalton, especially after that game, man, where he gave 21 points to the Cardinals. I thought that had been the week that maybe Famous got back in the lineup, got a chance to get his job back, but it didn't happen that way. They wrote it out.
The funny part about that game is,
what's up?
That's the exact style of play that Jameis Winston has. That game right there was probably the exact style of game that Jameis Winston had. Andy Dalton, they were up, moving the ball up and down the field. They still put up with like 30-something points like that in that game. But then he had those crucial turnovers, that 3 turnovers that cost him the game. And I was like, that's Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston gonna throw for 4 touchdowns, but he gonna throw 2-3 picks.
2-3 interceptions, man. Well, but honestly, man, it's just I mean, I still don't understand the move necessarily. Well, because
To your point though, I feel like they
Yeah.
should have gave him another opportunity because that's what you brought him over there for. He
Yeah.
got hurt, and it's not like Andy Dalton was just lighting it up.
Yeah, he
putting
didn't
y'all
just
to
get
win.
benched. He
You
did.
can, you
He
can,
got
you
hurt.
can,
Yeah.
yeah. So you can definitely go. They should. I think they should have went back Winston just to give that another opportunity and see what's going on there.
No, exactly. But I'm taking Carolina, man. I just want. I like Steve Wilkes. I feel like he got a bad deal in Arizona. You know what I'm saying? When he had that job in Arizona, they draft Josh Rosen. Josh Rosen and him get fired after the year. They did a lot to. I think they did a lot to slander his name to make it more palatable for them just getting him out of there after 1 year so they could bring in Cliff Kingsbury, who they really wanted, and then so that Cliff can go get Kyler and all that type of thing. And so seeing him kind of land on his feet in Carolina, seeing the success that he had and his own indelible impact on that team, because that wasn't a team that had talent, that just had a bad coach that couldn't get out the way of the team. Like, this was just a bad team. You know what I'm saying? Then he got real movement, real traction. He had real motion with that same porous roster. You know what I'm saying? And then up until last week, man, they were still right there firmly in the mix for that division. And so I just like to see just Steve Wilkes just get one on his way out, man. I doubt he gets without this playoff run, like I said, I doubt he gets any real traction, honestly, as far as being the guy to stay and take over that job in Carolina. But like I said, I hope he's done enough to get his name, like I said, back in those conversations at the very least.
For sure. All right, Willie Jack. And you said you went 2017 in this game?
Yeah, you're saying score, but the other way, Carolina.
Okay, gotcha. Well, yeah, Willie Jack, we're about halfway through it, man. It's about that time. It's about time you let them know, man, what's going on. Talk to them about, hey.
Oh, yeah, man. Y'all know, hey, look here, man. Hey, y'all know what's going on, man. Today's episode of Chop Willie in the Morning, man, hosted by the wonderfully handsome, intelligent brothers, Willie Jack and Chop, host of Let the Film Speak. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate all y'all. But other than that, man, it's brought to you by the sponsorship, man. We talking about the Three Amigos, man. That's like, share, subscribe. Y'all know what's going on, man. And then other than that, in addition to the Three Amigos, man, we got the members in the building, man. It's only right we do it, man. One more time for the last regular season game, man. Shout out to Prospect and Precision Painting, man. That's a painting and drywall restoration company based out of Atlanta, Georgia. You can find them boys online on all social media platforms. That's Prospect and Precision Painting. That's Instagram, that's Facebook, and you know what I'm saying? You can TikTok or whatever you do with it. You know what I'm saying? You can find those boys, man. They are Atlanta based, but they will travel to a city or a town near you. Prospect and Precision Painting, Instagram and Facebook for sure. I'm not sure about the TikTok, but man, you can definitely find those boys and do good business there, man. Shout out to our dogs, man. No balls, no glory, man. D-No's in the building, man. I promise, I'm gonna figure out how to get you unblocked, dog. I don't know what happened, bro. It was genuine. I was trying to reply and bro one and boom, Bob's your uncle. Man, day one gang Jarrell in the building, man. He hashtag Three Amigos. He know what's going on, man. But shout out to them boys as well, man. No balls, no glory, man. Go tap in with those boys, man. Shout out to our dog, Brother Red, man. Joseph Kenny, man. That's No Vultures, the podcast, my dog, man. Very eclectic, a range of topics over there, man. He gets into sports, all sports, football, boxing, baseball, basketball, etc. He's big into music, hip hop particularly, but not just limited there. So go check them boys out as well, man. Shout out to our dog, man. Shout out to my dog, Skinny, man. Real deal SDL Sports. Our dog, Kevin Wilkinson, as well, man. They stay in the building, man. Hold us down, man. The long way, man. We appreciate that. Holla at them boys as well, man. St. Louis-based sports group. So they highlight or specialize in topics sports related from high school through the pros, bro. On topics, like I said, centered mostly in that kind of St. Louis area or region. But like I said, they will get outside that box as well, man. But good content over there, man. So go in there, tap in with my dogs, man, and show love, man. And man, y'all know what's going on, man. We shout out to the real, man. One more time for the Three Amigos, man. Holding us down the long way, man. Like, share, subscribe, man. Tap in with your dogs. And like, hey, Wednesdays, 7 o'clock, 10 o'clock on Sunday mornings, right in here getting real jiggy, man, before you get your Sunday football day started, man. So, hey, we appreciate the love. Y'all know what's going on. And now back to the regularly scheduled programming. Come on with it.
And Willie Jack, I need you to keep that energy, man, because I'm going right to your squad, man. We got the Cleveland Browns going to Pittsburgh to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is going to be a game with huge implications. The Steelers must win if they want to have a chance to get in. And the Browns, they trying to play spoiler, man. So, Willie Jack, I know who you got, but I need you to talk to me about this game. And what's going to happen, bro?
Man, I ain't worried about nothing, Chop. Ain't worried about nothing. Man, we ain't worried about nothing. You understand me? Pittsburgh, man, we going to the playoffs, man. 2-6, man. I want y'all to understand me, man. I just want somebody in the chat one time for your dog, man. Just somebody in the chat one time. Somebody just show a little love, man. Somebody give me a hashtag, you know what I'm saying, like Mike T or something, man. My dog don't get enough credit for being one of the premier coaches in this league. Like, I feel like when Mike Tomlin gets mentioned, when we talk about great coaches, it's always like, hey, man, don't forget Mike T. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate that. This is a team, bro, realistically, and it would have been to our benefit to turn it in. You know what I'm saying? 2-6, man, turn it in and lock in the top 10 draft pick. Lord knows we need it. You know what I'm saying? We've seen that roster. And credit to Mike T, man. We get to the bye week, we turn that ship right around. We started 2-6, now we're 6-2. You know what I'm saying? A victory today, you know what I'm saying? A couple other pieces fall into play, and we make the playoffs. Now, make the playoffs, man. Hey, I don't know how far that drive is gonna go, but hey, we was in there though. I don't give a damn about it. You know what I'm saying? If everybody can't go to VIP, but at least we was in the club. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? And lock in my dog, Coach T's, man, winning record streak. He cares nothing about that. But me, selfishly, as a fan, man, I don't want to see it broken. So we get to 9-8 today. We get to the playoffs today. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Hey, shout out to my dog, Day One Gang, Jarrell in the building. Yeah, man. Hashtag Mike T. My dog, Miles in the building. He know what's going on, too, man. Ice Mike Tomlin, man. He know about Ice Mike. Let's go. And then Lily, man. Hey, man, it's got to be one. Shout out to our dog, IT, man. He said Cleveland wins by 2 scores. That's foul. He got 4-12 to Shine making his return. 4-12 to Shine must be making his return today.
I'm convinced Isaiah be coming in here, man, just to try to get you, Willie Jack. I think
he knows just the right buttons to push. Come on, man. 4-12 to Shine is the GOAT. I gotta go back and look up that 4-12 to Shine season. Him and Tom standing on it, man. But give me my dog, man.
I'll say about that 4-12 to Shine season. It was a good season, but it wasn't better than Lamar's MVP season.
It couldn't have been, bro.
No, it was a good season. He had like 30-something touchdowns. He only had like single-digit interceptions. You know, all his stats were good, but they were just a bad team.
Yeah, and I think that was a year too where they lost like 8 games by 1 score or something. So they were in a lot of those games, but they just took a lot of L's, if I remember right. But it was a good production year for himself. But scratch all that, because he getting smacked today. Man. 24-20, man. One of those ones, man. Still AFC North football, man. Y'all know what's going on, man. This is gonna be a game. Both teams want to run the ball. Both teams want to be want to be the ones to set the tone and the tempo on defense, man, with hard hits and aggressiveness, etc. You know what I'm saying? So these type of games that I love, of course, anyway. And like I said, I don't expect them to lay down at all, man. We got Nick Chubb, man, one of the better backs in the league. My favorite back, you know what I'm saying? One of my favorite backs, Chops as well, man. So can't take him lightly at all. And David Njoku playing very well as well. And Deshaun Watson, like I said, bit by bit, man, week by week, we are starting to kind of see like just little glimpses of that old guy kind of trying to find his way. And so, like I said, big one for us today, man. We need it, so we're going to get it done, man. 24-20, my dog's going to the playoffs. Come on with it.
Gotcha. Hey, and this is a game, Willie Jack. I'm just going to break this one down, man. Kenny Pickett, you got to show up this one. You got to show up this one. We need you to grow up today. Not tomorrow.
Yeah.
Not yesterday. You know, not tomorrow, not next week, not next month. We need you to grow up today. You know, because it's going to be some key moments in this game where they need you to make a play. They need you to step up. They need you to do what you do. You know, and these are the type of games they could build the character for Kenny Pickett, and they can either make you or break you. You know what I'm saying? In terms of your confidence. If he goes in this game and he has some plays, in the big moment, when he comes back next year, regardless of the outcome in this game, he's going to say, oh, we were right there. You know what I'm saying? I was right there. Mm-hmm. I can compete with whoever at this level. Because believe it or not, just because these guys are talented, they come from big colleges or whatever the case may be, there's still a level that you have to come into and say, you know what I'm saying? Can I compete with these guys? This is the best of the best. And for him being in that situation, this type of game, if he comes out and he plays well and he makes some plays, that's going to set you guys up for the next few seasons, for the next, I don't know, quarterbacks playing 15, 20 years in the league.
Oh, yeah.
This could set y'all up for 15 years. You know what I'm saying? So this could very well be that game. But also, it's going to take more than him. Najee Harris, you're a young pup. This is on your second year. Hey, it's time for you to show that you're going to be the leader of this team going, for years to come. On defense, TJ Watt, I ain't even heard from you a little bit, not as much, last few weeks. TJ Watt, let's go. I know you got a sack last week, but I need you to come on and have one of those TJ Watt games, the games where you pretty much wreck it. Cameron Hayward, you got Nick Chubb. He trying to come and invade your space, in between those tackles, in between those guards. Hayward, this is a big one for you. All the Steelers leaders and the guys they're going to look to in the upcoming years. It's up to you. It's going to be your game. This is y'all game. Step up. Y'all need to make the plays, because if not, I could see this being a game where Nick Chubb gets his 25 for 105 and a touchdown or two, or Deshaun Watson hitting Amari Cooper 8 times for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. You know what I mean? That would be the area that y'all would struggle in, which are cornerbacks and so on and so forth. But I said all that to say, I'm going with you, Willie Jack. I'm gonna rock with my dog.
Come on, man. Hey, come on, man.
I'm going with the Steelers. I expect Cameron Hayward.
Man.
I expect Cameron Hayward, TJ Watt, and Najee Harris to all be keys in this victory for them today. You know what I'm saying? Guys that well, not necessarily Najee, but TJ Watt and Cameron Hayward, we've been here before. We've been on this road. We know what it takes. So we're going to be the leaders and lead the rest of our team and tell them to hop on our back and say, hey, man, just follow us, do what we do. If y'all do that, y'all follow suit, we're going to be just fine, man. We're going to be just fine. So give me 24-23, man. 1 point game. Steelers squeak it out. Last minute field goal. Boswell. He gets the job done, man.
Yes, sir. Hey, I ain't mad at it, man. Hey, and you know what I'm saying? I just shouted you out, man. I don't know if you was in the building. Our dog Joseph Kenny just slid into the chat, man. He said, basically, Chop said the standard and the standard, man. Hey, Mike Tomlin got a book of quotables, bro, and that's one of them. The standard is the standard. Because Mike T will tell you.
The standard is the standard, bro.
Standard is the standard. You know what I'm saying? If Pittsburgh is in the venue, bro, I expect to see Pittsburgh Steelers football. I don't give a damn who out there. That's exactly what that's about, and that's exactly the mindset that gets us from 2-6 to 8-8 and having a shot this week. You know what I'm saying? So just that type of temperament, man, that Coach Tomlin has, man. So, man, yeah. Shout out to my dog, Brother Red, man. No Bunches the podcast, man. Y'all go check my dog out.
For sure. Check him out. On to the next game, Willie Jack. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna shout out one more, man. One more of the members in there dropped the prediction for us, man. I was gonna shout him out. My dog Ty said he's going with the Steelers as well, but he wants to see
Deshaun.
Oh, he said Deshaun watched the show, so he might want some revenge. Hey, Deshaun knows our love, man. He gonna take that L today. But hey, you already know, man. I want you to do your thing, big dog. Don't take it personally.
For sure. On to the next one, Willie Jack. We got the Los Angeles Chargers going to Denver to take on the Broncos. Ooh. And I'm going to go Chargers in this one. I'm going Chargers in this one. As I said on the Wednesday show, I think the Chargers are starting to hit the stride they need to hit in order for them to have a chance in this playoffs. Yeah, they started off rocky throughout this season. They were back and forth, up and down. They dealt with a lot of injuries. They dealt with a lot of different things. But now is the time where they're getting a little healthy. They're still missing some guys. Some guys are just out for the year. J.C. Jackson and Slater being the two biggest ones, even though J.C. Jackson wasn't playing worth anything, when he was out there. But this is the time they need to show, man, that who y'all are. Justin Herbert, this is also the time. And I'm talking like it's playoffs. I'm ready for the playoffs, man. I know this is the last week of the season. Y'all locked into the playoffs, but in the playoffs is where I want to see it happen. But this week, I want y'all to continue what y'all have started. Continue the path that y'all going down in terms of improving week by week. You know what I mean? And becoming a team that, people won't have to worry about. So the Chargers have been playing like that lately. I want to see more consistency in the run game. They ran the ball well last week. But it's not something consistent that they do where they can say, all right, we can go get 4 here, 5 here, 6 here, 4 here, 3 here. Their running game is either going to pop or it's not. But they also don't run the ball a lot anyway. So they don't have that type of strong or power run game. So, I would love to see them get a little bit of that. That way they can add a little bit more balance to their offense. But all in all, I think the Chargers will come out and they can take care of business. I think the Broncos still continue to struggle. The Broncos are the Broncos, man. They've been rough all season long. They've been rough to watch. They've been heavy or hard on the eyes. And yeah, man, I think the Chargers come out and take care of business. So give me the Chargers in this game. I'll go. Give me 27-16. 27-16 final score of this game. Even though the Broncos defense has been pretty good, the last few weeks, it almost just feels like they're like, man, forget this, man. Forget this. It's like it is what it is. They're not playing with this.
They just waiting for the down to break. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man. It's they're not playing with the same intensity that they started the season off with, and that same fire. They've been giving up a little bit more, but I think they still play well, but not enough to stop what the Chargers, planning on doing for them in this game.
I got you. And then real quick, man, I got Isaiah in the building, man. He's our resident Chargers fan, man. He said the Ravens arrested and the Chargers will too. But and then he talks about the stats for Herbert. But when he said the Chargers are resting as well, because I didn't see it, have they announced like several key starters being rested? All right, or Isaiah, help me out.
I'm gonna look into it, Willie J.
Okay, because I'm not gonna lie, man. This game, for whatever reason, man, I left this game blank, man, and I just don't know, man, because I don't think the Chargers. Because as far as I understood, the Chargers are locked into their seating. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they can improve or hurt their own positioning. And so, honestly, I was looking at this game as a game in which they may not have much to play for. You know what I'm saying? Outside of maybe just want to beat a divisional opponent. But I don't think they got that type of juice for Russell Wilson anyway. You know what I'm saying? And so I just don't know how much fight they were going to have in this game. Man, I'm going Denver. 23. Damn, Russ. All right. Nah, I wanted to. I'm going to go Chargers 23-19. 23-19. But honestly, because I was thinking that the Chargers, if I'm not mistaken, I think win, lose, or draw, they don't change or lose or improve any type of playoff seeding. And so I thought that they were going to be a team that it may make sense to go ahead and rest up, especially because Denver's defense, just like Chop was saying, Denver's defense is legit. Like, them boys still, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially if they decide that today we ain't going. You know what I'm saying? So they can go out there, man. I don't know if you want a beat-up Chargers offense anyway. These are guys, the Chargers offense are getting guys back. Mike Williams. Mike Williams missed, 5-6 games this season already. Keenan Allen, he missed 5-6 games this season. Now, mind you, this is a different secondary that's pretty stacked. They've got a young Patrick Surtain, Pro Bowl caliber year. You've still got Justin Simmons, one of the better safeties in this league as well. And so that secondary is not no soft touch. You know what I'm saying? And then with a wide receiver core that's been kind of beat up and depleted and dealing with injury all season, I just don't know is the juice worth the squeeze. You know what I'm saying? And then Herbert as well himself. You know what I'm saying? He's been beat up this season as well and been a little hurt. You know, you still got Randy Gregory. You've got the rest of that front seven as well that wants to get a little pressure and get some shots on you as well. And then just like Chop said, they don't have a dependable or consistent or reliable run game to just kind of turn around and hand this thing off to as well. And so the way that offense is constructed and the way they play ball, if Justin Herbert is in the game with his guys, then it's going to be a Justin Herbert game. I mean, he's going to go out there and he's going to throw 40 passes just because that's how they play offense. And so I don't know if you want to open them up to any type of potential hindrances just as they're getting healthy. You know what I'm saying? So for that, Randy Gregory's on IR. Oh, well, there you go. Forgive me. And so shout out to my dog Ike, man, Isaiah Holmes, catching me up. But the points I'm making are still the same though. Like I just don't know how much they want to push it, just as beat up as they were just this season. And I'm talking about the offense, but of course we already know the injuries on defense. Now Joey Bosa is coming back. I don't necessarily know if he's going to go ahead and play this week, but I do know he's coming back, so he'll definitely play next week when they play in the playoffs. Either way, but like I said, I just don't know how much the Chargers going to be looking to push the issue in this game and being on the road in Denver as well, which is why I think Denver really could backdoor it. Man, you know what? Forget it, man. I'm going to go ahead and call it Denver. I'm going to lead a score. I'm going to go ahead and call it Denver 23-19. Just because, like I said, man, I'm just not sure of the motivations of the Chargers, man. Honestly, I don't know if I'm right and they can't help or hurt their position, then I just don't know what's the issue to push here with a team that's been dealing with injury all year.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay, well, my bad. Hold on. I didn't see this was sneaking. He said if the Chargers win, they are the 5. If they lose and the Ravens win, they're the 6. Okay, well, they ain't worried about that because the Ravens ain't winning today. The Ravens said half they started, so they ain't winning today. So sounds to me, win, lose, or draw, they still 5. Because if they both lose, then the positioning would stay the same. Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah.
And I think they're the 5 right now over Baltimore since we just beat them, right? Okay, yeah. So if they both lose, it stays the same. And like I said, Baltimore is essentially telling us they hanging it up this week. And so, like I said, with that in mind, man, like I said, I don't think the Chargers make much. I mean, if a game's there to be won, it's there to be won. But like I said, I don't think they push the issue to get this win at the end of the day.
Understood, Willie Jack. Understood. All right. And I just want to keep this. Yeah, so they still 5. Okay. I just want to double check to make sure he was good there. On to the next game, Willie Jack. We got the New York Giants at the Philadelphia Eagles, man. And this one would have took you more than 10 wins, man. But the bad news is Giants starting Davis Webb this game, man. They rest. They locked in. They solidified, man. They starting Davis Webb.
Yeah.
So I guess the Giants ain't getting to 10 wins, man.
And they concede in the loosely, but they also conceded the number 1 seed to Philly. They also, I mean, maybe they feel more comfortable potentially playing Philly and Philly than playing Dallas and Dallas. I mean, maybe.
I mean, I guess they figured no matter what, they got to go to a divisional rivalry and go play them. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think that game is. I think those games, or as a coach, I would consider like, you know what? These are divisional matchups. I go see them at their house each and every year. You know what I mean? That's nothing. And I've had success in the past before. You know what I'm saying? So that's doable. So I don't know. Maybe, like I said, maybe they're just getting ready for the playoffs. They could just be as simple as that.
Is Saquon sitting as well?
It didn't show that. It shows Davis Will, but it doesn't show Saquon sitting. So for sure, Daniel Jones is out. You know, but we'll see what happens with Saquon. I imagine he may get a couple series and then they take him out. But Saquon is definitely sitting. But yeah, for those reasons, and Hurts is back. Hurts is starting this game. I'm going Philadelphia and Hurts this game. I think they come out, take care of business like they did against the Giants a couple weeks ago, and secure that number 1 seed. And I think this could in fact become a game where they spread the lead out a little bit more, and they end up resting Hurts and AJ Brown and some of those starters towards the end of this game. You know, because they have it in control and they want to get ready for the playoffs. So give me 31 to 14 final score of this game. I think Eagles come out, they take care of business going against a banged up, but also a team that's resting a lot of their players, and they win this one, man, and take care of business.
And you know what? I had this game a little closer because honestly, I wasn't aware that Daniel Jones was going to sit this one out.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, man. I probably should have known that because they can't get the 5 seed from Dallas, and so I probably should have put that together. But I didn't when I got my score. I had this one being a close one, with Philly winning. But like I said, with Davis Webb, Philly needing this one to make sure they cement the number 1 seed as well. So I'll go. I had 28-20, but with Davis Webb now being the guy, his mobility could have been the lack of his mobility in this one, especially for a motivated Philly team who's been turning quarterbacks up here lately. Man, so having somebody that could to make something happen and, like I said, extend those plays and keep the play alive, that type of thing. But with Davis Webb, man, without having that mobility that Daniel Jones does, especially like I said, man, especially in the early going, man, if Philly in that D line gets hot, man, and they start getting home, this could be a long day for Davis Webb. You know what I'm saying? This could be a long day. This type of game that can be 6 sacks, but he got hit 14 times. You know what I'm saying? And so it could get ugly for him. I'm gonna take one of them touchdowns away. I'm gonna go 28. I'm going to go 28-13. So I'll go 28-13 Philly. Like I said, locking up that number 1 seed. Jalen Hurts getting back. I do want to see how he looks. And I think, honestly, this could be a game. No, I'm not going to lie, man. I expect to see this game I expect to see these guys play this game. I mean, until it's absolutely in hand, then I expect to see them play this game because I don't think they're going to risk or take any type of chance at all pulling guys early with the number 1 seed still not guaranteed. So I think Philly goes out there to make sure they saw this one away. 28-13 on at home.
Got you. And I heard you mentioning the sacks, Willie Jack. And this is the crazy thing because I had this stat pulled up for you. So the Eagles are actually 4 sacks away from tying the all-time, sack record in the season by a team. You know what I'm saying? So the record is 72. The Eagles have 68 sacks right now. Ooh. So if they go into this game and get 4 sacks, they tied. They get 5, they break it. So you got to know them guys are hungry back there. They got 3 guys in double-digit sacks. So they getting after the quarterback. So you got to know those guys are hungry. They getting after the quarterback today, and they trying to break that sack record to be take over their record as the team that has the most sacks in the season in NFL history.
So that's, I think, Brandon Graham, Javon Hargrave. Who's the third guy with double?
I
Oh,
think it's
Hassan Reddick.
Hassan
Hassan
Reddick.
Reddick got double-digit sacks. I was gonna say Josh Swift, but no, Hassan Reddick got double-digit sacks. Okay, yeah,
Reddick.
they've been getting to it. Who holds that record? Who's got the 72?
Chicago Bears, man. Chicago Bears.
Is that the 85 Bears?
84 Bears. 84 Bears. 72 sacks, man.
Ooh,
they was getting after the quarterback. 84 Bears.
The 84 Bears, not even the magical 85. Okay,
yeah. So yeah, man, they playing some ball. So
no, they going for that. Yeah, the defense is going for that. I guarantee you, the defense going for that.
For sure. So we'll see if the Eagles can come out there and break that sack record this year, man. On to the next one, Willie Jack, and we got about 23 minutes, man. So we're gonna put a little move on this, man. Put a little move on it. So another divisional matchup. We got Arizona going to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. Willie Jack, who you got, man?
Hey man, hold on, man. Real quick in the chat.
I'm tripping.
Real quick in the chat, man. Long live JJ, man. This is the last game for a legend, man. This is the last game for a legend. JJ Watt announced his retirement, I think, before last week's game. And so, man, and I tell you what, when JJ said he was hanging it up, he came to play ball last week. And so I imagine, and especially in a game like this, JJ Watt being the competitor, the type of guy he is, and going against a team that likely or is very likely that they'll be a team that winds up in the NFC Championship. Like I guarantee he has on his mind. He wants to go out there and play and leave a mark in this game. He wants to have a Kobe moment. He wants to drop 60 before he walk off from the Staples Center. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So he wants. I guarantee you, he's got it on his mind to do something, man. And I hope he does. And now, not to win this game. Now the well-oiled machines, as my dog Chop will have y'all know. The well-oiled machines, man. Just that, you know what I'm saying? They moving and grooving, man. Brock Purdy is man playing extremely well. C-Mac is back, man. He's looking damn good. Kittle's turning up. What's the timeline on Debo getting back in the lineup?
So Debo actually might be playing today. He actually might be playing, and he's playing today. So Debo will be playing in this game. He is active, and they really gonna be flying out on all cylinders today, especially because they still have an opportunity to get that number one seed. So
exactly, yeah. If Philly loses and they win, then they get that number one seed. You know what I'm saying? So exactly, and so and I think both these games are 3:00 games. The NFL, boy, y'all up to something. They don't want one of these teams to see whether or not they have to play. So they both play at the same time. So both these teams are going out to play. Oh yeah, Philly's breaking that sack record for sure. And they playing that game all the way through the win because they don't know what's going on in San Francisco and the other coast as well. It's same thing, vice versa. So I've got San Francisco winning the game, of course. I think who's starting the quarterback for the Cardinals? Is it Colt McCoy or is it that third guy? Because I know.
So the start in this game for the Cardinals is going to be David Blau again.
Okay. He's the guy that got a little love in the Hard Knocks series with the Lions, and so that's why I know his name, man. So shout out to him, man. And so if you'll remember on that show, really quick, no, not really quick. We only got 23 minutes. Chop, see that? I told you, I got you. JJ, man, I hope JJ does his thing. I don't know what that looks like, man. I hope he gets a sack. I want to see JJ get a sack, man, before he rides off in the sunset. Truly, man, one of my favorite players that I've got to watch, like as far as my generation of guys, a truly great and truly spectacular guy. So I want to shout him out, man. I want to give him some love. And I've said it before. Now I'm gonna say it again. I remember Reggie White in Green Bay. Like those are like his Green Bay years are like some of my earlier football years. So I remember that. And then my big bro, he was a Packers fan. So I remember that Super Bowl year. I remember Reggie then, like older Reggie. But I don't know what Reggie looked like in '87 in Philly. You know what I'm saying? Where he was like eating boys' lunch and boys were crying on the field. You know, I don't know what that Reggie looked like. JJ Watt has to be the closest thing that we've seen to that. JJ's 4 or 5 year run for JJ was that special. I don't care. Argue with your mama. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we can do it, man. You know, I love a good argument, man. So shout out to the legend, man. Shout out to JJ. I hope you get you one today, big dog. But yeah, Brock Purdy and the well-oiled machines, man, they rolling, man. 27-13. 27-13, man. With the victory today. But like I said, man, I want to see JJ go out with a bang, man. So do your thing, JJ.
Gotcha. And I got the 49ers in this game. I think they come out, they take care of business, and they roll over a struggling and depleted Cardinals team. You know, they come out, they continue to be the well-oiled machines that they are. They welcome Deebo Samuel back with open arms at home. The crowd's gonna be going crazy. Mm-hmm. I think they come out and they put it into this game pretty early. Like I said, they are still playing for the number one seed, so they're gonna go out and as they do it each and every game, and they're gonna come out, they're gonna take care of business. So I expect them to come out, make this game easy, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw a shutout out there. I think they come out, they win this game 34-0. 34-0, final score of the game. 49ers, they come out, they take care of business, and they make a statement and say, hey, look, man, I don't care who team y'all are. Y'all gonna have to come see us. The only team we gotta go see is either gonna be Philly. It's gonna be Philly. That's it. That's the only team we have to go see if we have to go see them. Everybody else,
Candlestick coming out of the Candlestick. Oh no, it ain't even Candlestick no more. I forgot what they new stadium's called. It ain't Candlestick no more. But yeah, these Niners, bro. Yeah, I can't wait to see how this plays out, bro.
Me too. I'm anxious to see, bro. I'm anxious to see. On to the next one, Willie Jack. Another divisional matchup. In that same division, man, we got the Los Angeles Rams going down to see Big Gino and the Seattle Seahawks. Willie Jack, this one, guys, playoff implications for the Seattle Seahawks, man. What's your thoughts on this one?
Man, I feel like two of my kids is squabbing, man.
Here you go, man. Here you go, man.
Hey, but we going Big Gino today, man. Big Bake, man. Hey, Bake, man, I showed you some love, man. I pulled for you, you know what I'm saying? I took a couple of them L's with you, big dog, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, Big Gino got something on his mind, man. He didn't write back. We're not going to forget that. We're not going to let it go, man. We're going to congratulate you, big dog, on a very impressive season this year. Led the league in completion percentage to this point of the year. And I didn't realize that. But Geno Smith, unless there's an old stat, but he was leading the league in completion percentage like 70%. Is a stat that I saw in like a Facebook article or something like that. It's a very impressive career or season for him, resurrected his career. Surely, I imagine, and I'd like to see Seattle bring him back, put a little money in his pocket to see just what they can do. But I'm gonna take Seattle at home, man. That 12th man. A divisional rivalry game. I'm going 24-19 Seattle. I don't know necessarily. I know they've got implications as well for the playoff. I don't know if it's as simple as winning in for them.
No, they got to win. The Seattle Seahawks got to win, and they need the Green Bay Packers to lose. So Seattle has to win, and Detroit has to win tonight.
So Seattle so Seattle would have to win, and Detroit has to lose, and then Seattle's in.
No. Seattle has to win and Detroit has to win.
Oh, Seattle and Detroit have to win and then Seattle's in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Man. Dang. Okay. Oh, man. Hey, then they going to the playoffs. Big Gino. The big one. Big Gino going to the playoffs. Damn it. They getting that dub today, man. And then spoiler, man, we'll get to it when we get to it. But I'm taking Big Gino on the dub today, man. 24-19 to cap off, like I said, man, a very special season for him and a very special season for that Seahawks team as well.
Gotcha. And I'm going to tell you like this, man. Ain't no way the NFL, flex the Sunday night game, for Detroit and Green Bay for it not to have everything to do with who gets in, Sunday night. And I'm going to end the season off on the right note, the note that I should have been ending it on. And I'm going with my guys, man. I'm going with the Rams. They come away. They come away with the victory in this game on the road in Seattle. I don't care if they got the 12th, man. You might as well have 13 men. You're going to need 14 men on the field today, because the Rams coming to take care of business. So give me the Rams in this game on the road. I think that defense is going to have – they're gonna do something to Seattle, man. They're gonna do something to Geno Smith. They're gonna have him looking. He's gonna be looking a little spooked this game, man. We're gonna get out them, get a little pressure on them. We're gonna do some of the things that we normally do. I wish we had AD in this game because AD owns the Seahawks. He's been owning them since he's been playing, but he's been out, of course, with injury, for the season. But give me the Rams in this game. And then on offense, I like the way that Cam Akers has been running the ball. I don't know if this is maybe three straight 100-yard games for him, but Cam Akers has been running the ball pretty well. And I expect the Rams to come out and make this a really, really competitive game. And if it is, I do think that the Rams and I'm coming away with a W in this game. Now, here's the thing, though, Willie Jack, too. There's a story out that McVay is a possibility of him hanging up or going away from the Rams. And I want to know what's your take on that, man? What do you think? Do you think he actually would step away? And if so, what does that mean for this Rams team? And I guess I'm sorry, I know I asked through this question that
you fine.
We got a couple more games left. So real quick, man.
Okay.
Go through that question for me.
No, I got you. And honestly, man, and I'm glad you reminded me as well, because I wanted us to talk about this. I think it's more likely now seeing Sean Payton do it just a year before. You know what I'm saying? So you can step away. You could take that mental break. You know what I'm saying? You could take that without fear of being like blacklisted or, you know what I'm saying, from the league, or guys like, you know what I'm saying, like whatever, you know what I'm saying, whatever innuendo or whatever, you know what I'm saying, maybe thoughts in the back of your mind, like, man, I can't, you know what I mean? Whatever thoughts that you may have had before witnessing this happen with Sean Payton, seeing the market for Sean Payton as he's coming back now, free to make his own choice and situation, I think it's completely viable. And especially because I don't expect Aaron Donald to play football for the Rams no more. I don't expect Aaron Donald to play football no more. You know, so I think I said that as well. Like once this season went awry, I think I had mentioned I expect him to get himself to turn it in this year, as far as not subject himself to anything more, and that's what happened. But going forward, the outlook of this team is rough. You sold the farm, and so you sold the farm for a championship. Now you got the championship, so now here's the fallout of that. Like, what's the get back time look like without being able to build for the future and with so much money tied up into so few guys? You know what I'm saying? So I think honestly, you know what? I don't know what he'll do, but if I was in this corner, if I'm his agent, you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm Lamar's agent and then I'm Sean McVay's agent, Lamar's not touching the football in a black and purple jersey again until they bring me $52 million a year. And if I'm Sean McVay, man, we stepping out, take a year off, talk on TV if you want to, and then come back around, man, and have the world will be your oyster. Go any and everywhere you want to go. And so I think that's the play, man. I think that's the play. Especially if it's already out there, soft lob, that he's, you know, dealing with mental pressure, mental issues. He just got married. He had the death of his grandfather, etc. His new wife that he got married, she's Ukrainian. So that hit them pretty hard as well. So all that stuff and these stories coming out, that speaks to me that this is real. And knowing that team's not on the precipice of any type of grand run or grand contention, it's gonna be an ugly next 2-3 years for these Rams. And so I don't know why he would want to put himself through that if he doesn't have to. So yeah, go ahead, take a year, man. Go ahead, take a year and come back.
Yeah, and it's a reminder that to everybody that life is happening, man. Life doesn't stop just because you got a specific occupation, you know, or whatever the case may be. We all know when it comes to football takes a lot of your time, especially being the coach of an NFL team. You know, even in college, Willie Jack, how many hours was our coaches spending in the office, in the film room, breaking down film, you know, going over plays, putting together a playbook, practicing, you know, going through all those different things with us. They spent a ton of hours doing it. So I only imagine if that's the only thing that they have, like in the NFL, that that's what they're doing, you know, so they're going to be able to go through that process. So if you got all those things going on, man, I don't blame them for taking the time to step away. And I do think, like you said, Willie Jack, if he steps away, I think AD also steps away, whether that's a retirement or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. I think AD time may be up too. And then, we are at that point,
fire sale.
Looking at a rebuild for sure. You know what I'm saying? Looking at a rebuild, or I don't know exactly what they'll look like, but it looks like we'll be, you know, trying to put the pieces back together, you know, after suffering or something like that. So we'll see how that goes. All right,
real quick before we move on, man. Our dog, Brother Red, man, Joseph Kenny, man, shout out to No Vultures, the podcast, man. He said, is Geno this year's most improved player?
That's a good question, because you got Geno, you got Tua, you got
Daniel Jones,
Golf, you know, like
Daniel Jones.
There's guys like that.
No. I think golf is more comeback player than most improved, because Golf has had like a level of success. He's been a Pro Bowl before. He went to the Super Bowl. So I don't know if it'll be most improved for him. Somebody's knocking at my door. My bad. But most improved, I'm thinking, bro. I was trying to think who else it would be realistically, and I think Geno really may have that. I'm gonna step away, get my door.
Go ahead, do your thing. Go ahead, take. Go ahead, do your thing. All right, yeah. So I don't know. Brother Red, that's a good question. You know, but I definitely think he's in that conversation for sure. There's a couple other guys that are out there that, you know, like I said, it just came to mind when you just threw that question out there. But he's definitely a guy that's in that conversation for sure. You know, so you know, hey, it could be. He could very well be. I wouldn't be mad or wouldn't argue as much if somebody said he was. On to the next game. We got the Dallas Cowboys going to Washington to take on the Commanders, and I feel like Dallas is going to take care of business in this game. As we said before, Dallas still has an opportunity to come away with this number 1 seed. And with them having an opportunity, I think they're gonna come out and they're gonna put their best foot forward. They have to be able to. They have to do their thing in order to come away with this victory. So I think they come out, take care of business. The Washington organization as a whole is falling apart. From top to bottom. From coaches and some players, and it's just a lot going on in this particular with this organization, and they need some changes. I expect this to be Ron Rivera's last game coaching this Washington team. I wouldn't even be surprised if before or during the Sunday night game we hear something about that, or maybe the next day. What they call it, Black Monday, Willie Jack. So I think that they could very well be an opportunity, or we hear news like that coming after this Washington game. I said it all to say Sam Howell is actually going to be the starter in this game for this Washington team. Sam Howell is coming in. He's going to get an opportunity as a rook. And, I mean, to me, I feel like it's the right move. You already eliminated from the playoffs. You drafted this rookie last year. All right, let's go see what he got. Let's go see what he can do. And why not give him an opportunity to come out there and try to make some plays and see what he can do at home against this Dallas team. But all in all, give me Dallas to win this one. They playing for a lot more. They got a lot more in this game. I think they come out, take care of business against a struggling Washington organization, and they win this one. Final score of give me 28. Give me 28 to 28. 13, 28-13, final score of this game. Give me Dallas over Washington. You on mute, Louis Jack. You still on mute, brother. You still on mute.
Hey, appreciate you. Good looking, big dog. But no, I appreciate you, bro. I'm taking Dallas as well on the road in this one. I do agree. In this thing, I like Ron Rivera. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do, probably maybe more so for his time in Carolina when he was Riverboat Ryan. It was Cam. It was Superman. They was going for it on 4th down, and Cam was just making, so it was kind of, he had some excitement and buzz around his name. But nah, man, the press conference where he didn't realize that he was getting eliminated from the playoffs, like, nah, man, they done. They turned that down anyway. Even regardless of that, the fact that the ownership of that team has been atrocious ever since Daniel Snyder took over that team, I want to say roughly 20 years ago now. So we know that team's going to be sold, new ownership's coming in, and I guarantee you that's going to be one of those things where I don't see any way that Rob Rivera is going to save his job this year with new ownership coming in. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's going to tear that thing down and start fresh, roster and everything. I think any and everything in that roster, any and everything in that organization, not named Jahan Dotson, Chase Young, and Scary Terry, everybody else is probably and Ryan Payne. You know what I'm saying? But everybody else is optional. Everybody else is open to discussion at the very least. So I think that's what they got going on there. But I've got Dallas winning this game. And this is the thing too. I don't think is Dallas playing for anything. I don't think Dallas is
playing for the first round. They're playing for the first round. The first overall.
Oh, they are still in. Well, because I thought if
Philly would have to lose,
but the Niners would also have to lose. So that's.
But they all play at the same time.
That's true. I definitely don't see. Even if for some reason something crazy happened in Philly, I definitely don't see a way the Cardinals beat the Niners. But like you said, they are all playing at the same time, so Dallas does have something to play for. But just Dallas is known to Dallas every now and again. But I'm going to take the smart money though, man. I'm going to go Dallas to get this done. Shout out to my dog TP, man. Free TP. I'm going to get Dallas and TP the dub in this one. I actually don't mind your score. I'm going to go a little tighter than that though. I'm going to go 27-20. And then I think, no. Sam Howell is starting this game for Washington. Did you say that?
That's what I said. Yeah, I said.
Oh, okay, yeah. I had to remind myself. It's damn sure not 20 points no more. Yeah, now it is. 27 to 10. I'll give you one. 27-10 Dallas.
Okay. Gotcha. All right, Willie Jack. Well,
real quick, bro. I'm so sorry. Did you give me your Seattle score?
Seattle score, Rams.
Yeah.
2017.
2017. Got you.
2017. All right. And then on to this game of the week. It's a Sunday night game. Of course, me and Willie Jack got the same game of the week this week. It's past playoff implications as well. Now, of course, Detroit will know at this time before this game is played, what opportunities they'll have to make this playoff. Of course, it'll depend on the Rams and the Seahawks game. But this Lions-Packers game, man, It's simple for the Packers. If they win, they in. It don't matter what happens. If they win, they in. But for the Lions, of course, they need Seattle to lose, so they need the Rams to take care of business. You know what I'm saying? So, this is going to be a big game on Sunday night for these particular teams. So, Willie Jack, who you got, man? Game of the week, man. Lions at Packers. What's up? What's happening?
Lions at Packers, man. I wish we had more time to kind of get into this one, man, because this is gonna be a good one. This one's gonna be a good one. Barn burner, all those names and titles that we say, man. I think we get the best out of AA Ron and Green Bay today at home, and I think Detroit, man. I still got faith in Jared Goff, man. And I've been saying it all year, so I'm gonna say it again in Week 18. Detroit scoring 30. Detroit touching 30. And I don't know if everybody that played Detroit can get to 30. Green Bay, y'all been playing a lot better here lately, but still, if Detroit gets to 30, I'm still not confident that Green Bay can necessarily get there and keep up. Not that they can't, but like I said, if I had to bet my money on which team is getting to 30, I'm betting it on Detroit, and I'm taking Detroit in this win on the road. Now that's the thing too, because I guess if they win and Seattle wins, the Detroit still doesn't get in the playoffs. So what's their scenario? Do they have a scenario to get in the playoffs? I thought they were still open.
Who?
The Lions.
If Seattle loses and Detroit wins, Detroit gets in.
And if they both win, then Seattle gets in.
Yep.
Damn, Seattle. Damn, Jared.
Well, you already told me Seattle was getting in though. So you already told me.
Yeah, I know, man. Dang, man, I wanted them Lions to get in there, man. Y'all gonna get this big dub. Y'all gonna get a very big dub, man, to cap a very great season, man, a tremendous season. Shout out to Dan Campbell, man. Shout out to Jared Goff resurrecting his career as well. Man, all of that, man. So, man, we know those guys, man. Shout out to all them, man. I think y'all get this dub. But like Ben said, man, unfortunately, the way I got it falling out, man, y'all maybe don't make the playoffs. 31-28 in a barn burner, Chop. 31-28 in a barn burner. And Jared, no. 31-24. I ain't gonna give him that extra point. I upped it a little bit, but no, 31-24, man. 31-24. Like I said, one of these, I only feel good about one of these teams touching 30, man. If I had to put money on one of them, man, I'm going Jared Goff and them Lions, man.
All right, man. Well, I'm just gonna let y'all know right now, man. This is the part of the show where Chop goes in his bag. I'm gonna just tell y'all that right now. Let me preface what I'm about to say with that. Chop is about to go in his bag. Okay, yeah. So get your pen ready, Willie Jack. I hope you got it. Hope you're ready to write. You know what I'm saying? Gotcha. I saved it for the game of the week because the player of the week in Week 18, gas has to come from the game of the week. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going AA Ron. I'm going Aaron Rodgers. I'm going relax. I'm going my dog. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite quarterbacks has ever stepped foot on an NFL field, man. He comes out in this game, and you told me Detroit was going to score 30. So if Detroit scores 30, you know what the Packers got to do if they going to come away with the W in this game. They got to put up more than 30. In this particular game. Give me 35-1. Final score of this game. I got Green Bay winning, and I got Aaron Rodgers as my performer of the week. 325 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, and one of his games where he reminds everybody, hey, last year and the year before that, man, you was looking at the MVP of the league, man. That's what you was looking at. And I just want to remind y'all what y'all about to get as we go into these playoffs. You getting MVP Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs. The boy finna ball out. He getting tired of everybody talking about how he don't never show up in the playoffs, how he don't never do this, don't never do that. This game right here, he's going to let everybody know, hey, man, y'all counting me out. I told y'all a few weeks ago when I said teams just look for one little opportunity to get a spark. And they did that. Yeah. My boy Willie Jack was ready to pull the plug and say, let's put in Jordan Love. No, we ain't putting in Jordan Love. We're going to win these next 2 games. And not only that, we're going to win the next 2 games after that. And we're going to be right in contention to get in the playoffs. And there you have it. Packers get in the playoffs because that's where we're supposed to be. That's where we should have been. And we saved the season by getting in and getting that 7th seed.
And I ain't going to lie. I really do was feeling you, bro, when you said, not even this week, I think last week when you said the Packers gonna get in that thing, and then seeing Tom get in, I was like, okay, yeah, the old guard is in. This might be their last one, but both of them boys getting in. It just feels destined. You know what I'm saying? Touchdown Tommy's in this thing. AA Ryan pulled them Packers back from the depths obscurity as well, and they are at home, and so it does tee up and line up that they do get the spot, man. But no, I'm a ride with the horse I came in on, man. I came in here, man, making sure Jared Goff got his flowers, man, making sure everybody knew that them boys was going for 30. And so I'm gonna go out the same way, man. But I'm not gonna be the fact that Detroit can win and not make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not mad if AA Rod getting the playoffs, man. I ain't gonna be mad at you at all. But yeah, but I like to see Detroit go out there, put it on them boys. Just one.
And to be honest though, Willie Jack, I gave Detroit 30 being nice, just being honest. I gave them 30 just off the strength. You know what I'm saying? That you told me they was gonna get 30. So I respect you enough to give them 30. But the way that the defense was playing last week of the Packers, I don't see them giving up 30 points to this Detroit Lions team. I think they come out and they steady amp and they ready to go again. Yeah, and they may put up 24, but I'm not quite giving them 30. So yeah, I'm still going Packers in this game, man. They take care of business.
I mean, I don't know, man. Don't let Jair Alexander, you know what I'm saying, get you all souped up, man. Now, I mean, that Packers defense has been playing better. I give you that. But still, man, like I said, if I had to bet, if one of these teams is touching 30, man, I had to put money. I got to put my money on the team that's done it consistently, and that's been the Lions, man. If it gets to that point. But nah, man, that's anybody's game. Home field in Green Bay hasn't been the same, man, under Aaron Rodgers' watch. That's probably one of the knocks we can say, playoffs and regular season, playoffs especially. You know what I'm saying? They've been upset at home more than a few times. And so and that speaks to my dog, Brother Red's point, man, that Green Bay this time of year ain't the old Green Bay we remember for Brett Favre, man. But, hey, we 12-03, man. We done ran long. My Steelers are 3 minutes into kicking Cleveland's ass, man, so we got to go ahead and wrap it up.
I got you. Well, let's go ahead, man. As we watch Deshaun Watson trot on into the field, Willie Jack, man, let's go ahead and wrap it up. My performer of the week, like I said, is Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers, 325 and 4 tubs, and I didn't even give y'all one. So that means right now.
Give me one. That means right now. You go ahead into the wrap up.
Oh, I got you one right now. Big play TJ sending me to the playoffs, big dog. 2 sacks, a forced fumble, and I think a pass deflection that winds up an interception for Magic Mixon Fitzpatrick, man. Come on, man. Don't it sound wonderful? Come on, man. Come on.
Hey. And speaking of, I have to do it, bro. Bills just returned the kickoff for a tub. I'm just saying.
Oh, let's go, Big Josh. Let's go, Big Josh.
Do it for DeMar. Do it for DeMar, man.
Dog, Brother Red, he says it's a great show, man. You know what's going on, man. We appreciate the love, big dog. Hey, I'm going to go ahead and wrap us up, man. Hey, we appreciate the love. This is going to be real quick, man. Shout out to the members, though. Brother Red, man, No One's the Podcast is in the building, man. Day One Gang Jarrell was in the building. Day One Gang Tom was in the building. Miles the Mac was in the building. Isaiah Holmes, man, IT, he was in the building. Shout out to them Chargers. Mom Dukes is in the building. Appreciate the love, mama. Man, I'm thinking, y'all can say it with me, man. If I forgot to say your name, big dog, charge to my head, man. Don't charge to my heart. You know we thinking about your homeboy. Appreciate all the love, man. We made it. We made it with the Film Speak family. We made it, Chop Willie in the morning family. The regular season is done after today, man. So next time y'all talk, man, we talk big time. We talk a big ball next time. Wednesday, 7 o'clock, it'll be time to talk big ball. The playoffs is here, baby. And so everybody have fun, be safe, man. Hope y'all enjoyed y'all holidays as always, man. We appreciate the love, man. Y'all know what's going on. Tap back in with your dogs at Wednesday, man. We're going to holler at y'all like that. Peace.
Peace.